As Denier, Wolfgang, Asmo, and T-Wig fled the pursuers of Silver Rock, along with their goblin companion Giblink and captive witness, Captain Wallace, they stumbled upon wanted posters bearing their likeness, as well as 3 Silver Rock soldiers who were out on the hunt. The ensuing battle left our heroes with 3 more captives, and bought them the attention of an enigmatic, bubbly little gnome going by Flix, who offered to help them lay low for a bit. We join the party as Flix beckons them and begins walking northward toward her little hideout. So you've been, first of all, have you guys decided to follow Flix?
Yes.
Yes, I would say so.
Yeah.
Works for me. So you guys have been wandering for about 15 minutes, and the tavern and road you were by has kind of hit out of eye shot. And she turns to you. All right, here seems far enough. So, what you plan to do with these 4? She kind of points at the guards that are currently under your prisonership.
Well, if we go into the town we're thinking about.
Oh my god, what was it?
We think about going to
Wild's
Wild's Edge. We could pretend to be human traffickers and bring these shapely boys. We wouldn't sell them. That would be bad crime, not like cheeky crime.
Yeah, the 3 guards that you most recently picked up, you'll notice that there are 2 younger men and then 1 older grizzled fellow. The older grizzled fellow is the one that was wielding the hammer that you took the knee off of Asmo. He's staring kind of daggers at you. Flix kind of looks at you. Well, if you're trying to make that plan, you might as well make sure you cut their tongues out so they don't try to sell you to them.
No, that's true.
Yes,
Problem is, if we... What?
Esmo, we've done enough damage to them. They were just following orders. They should go home to their families. They're as much a victim in this than we are.
I'd agree with it.
We've shown
agree with
them.
T-Wig.
I agree as well. We've shown them that we have strength. Let's show them that we also have mercy.
If Giblink can speak little sense here, not sure at best we send them off to come find us.
No,
They
that's
go back,
why.
they give message.
No, then we split. Here's what we're gonna do. Hey, Flix,
Aye.
can you take us on a roundabout way to where you want to go? I have an idea.
There's not a lot roundabout to go, but I suppose I could.
No.
Asmo pulls out just part of his black cloth and starts ripping pieces off of it, off the sides of it, and starts making blindfolds.
Kind of tattering your cloak a little bit.
Yeah, tattering the back of the cloak a bit. And Asmo's going to make some blindfolds with his knife. A set for each of the
see
guys.
what you're doing there.
I just figured we let him go in the woods somewhere. Let him figure it out after that. How about that, boys? Would you like to live?
Flix is just kind of giggling to herself. When we don't return back, the older grizzled one that you took the knee off looks at you. The Baron will send men. He'll hunt you to the ends of Marmaria if anything happens to us. He spits at you.
Did he get me or just near me?
Well, let me roll a...
Yeah, roll spit, roll spit. Just panda my response to him.
He's especially.
You nimbly dodge out of the way as a projectile spittle shoots towards your face.
You missed. Alright, do you guys have any issue with that? If we blindfold them and leave them one way and just, I don't know, send them back, and we go a different direction. That way they can't find us. That work for everybody?
Giblink not fan.
They know what
Not
we look like.
But not Giblink call.
I'm not a fan of tying them to a tree and just leaving them forever. I'm not a fan of just letting them go.
They'll get eaten by wolves. The wolves will go for the intestines first and then eventually move to the stomach.
This one knows how the woods work.
They know what we
Flix
look
kind of
like.
points over to him.
They know what we look like. They know where
And
we
those
are.
Yeah, no shit. They put wanted posters up of us, dude. You've never been wanted before?
No, but they look like now.
Oh, no, what we look like now. That is true. Damn. That is a problem, without a doubt. What to do?
Above game. You guys want to talk above game about this?
I don't want to kill him.
You're currently planning amongst yourselves here. If you wish, you can leave Giblink and Flix to look over these people along with your
I don't
giant
know.
snake.
No.
Yeah, let's talk in private. Let's do that.
If
All right,
Lex
so
were
you got-
gonna we're gonna palaver.
All right, Giblink motions to Wallace to go sit him over on like a small rock, and he pulls out a bow, and he puts his feet up on Wallace, and the snake just kind of coils around them, ready to snag in case any of them decide to make a run for it.
Yeah, make it like a sentry.
All right, and you guys kind of wander off out of earshot.
If we kill or mutilate these men any further, it will prove everything Barristan Kench is telling his people.
It's true. That's why I don't want to kill him outright.
Plus, we cannot guarantee if these men go back to Barristan Kench, they will not be killed themselves, like the man in the jail cell.
It's true.
You will note that the man in the jail cell that was killed was part of the royal army, not one of Kench's men.
Still kind of killed a dude.
It's true.
For,
It's true.
Of legitimate value, so.
Everyone has value.
Just depends
At
on
the
how
same-
you use them.
I'm
At
so
the same time, we did mutilate. We did severely injure them.
But we did not kill them.
That was in
Self-defense.
self-defense.
I'm not fond of just letting them go, but at the same time, what else are we going to do? Best just to send them on their
Oh,
way, leave their fate in their own hands.
I know how we can give ourselves some time if we just let them go.
How's that?
We tie all three of them together. No, hear me out. Hand to hand, all facing each other. We take their weapons, and we tell them to huff it back to where we came. They've been paying attention to where they are.
That seems a bit unnecessarily cruel.
Yeah.
I do agree we take their weapons, but if we're going to let them go, I say we just
I
let
understand
them
it
go.
sounds a bit cruel, but we didn't kill them. Killing them is cruelty. Letting them live is a kindness. It's going to be uncomfortable for a while, but we need to make time before we leave. I'm sorry to play it this way. We can't be goody two-shoes about everything in this. We're criminals. We've been branded as such. I know what that's like. And sometimes what they assume you will do will be beneficial if you actually just do it. We let them live. We'll prove we're not murderers by just doing that. If we do it a little bit embarrassingly, we're trying to survive. Let's give ourselves some time.
Yeah, we'll take them time to get out of those ropes, which will buy us time and let us get away.
Bingo. And we're not binding their feet, just their hands. They have to make it back.
Yeah, how long would it take them to get back, do you think, walking very awkwardly in a circle?
From where you are on the map, if they had to go around the mountain range, they might be able to find some part to cross over, but it might take them about 2 days if they go all the way around the mountain.
How long
Or,
back to the tavern?
They'd probably just huff it back to Silver Rock if they were going to do anything. But back to the tavern would probably be maybe an hour.
I won't know which direction we're going then.
Well, I'm gonna call it. That's the plan we're doing. Hey, boys! Come here!
Asma pulls out the rope.
Wolfgang, I don't like this.
I don't like it either.
Mountain lions are easily enticed by the smell of blood, and not being able to hold back with your arms will mean instant death.
2 of them are wounded.
Yeah.
Asma's tying him up. Pats the old guy in the head.
So I bet you're wondering, hey, what's your name, by the way? Sir.
He
I
looks
have
up
their
at you.
Down.
Sergeant Briggs.
Sergeant Briggs. Sergeant Briggs. Go with a hammer, by the way. And this hammer right here,
Asmund just kind of holds up the hammer. Ugh.
Yeah, it's a big, heavy, two-handed warhammer.
Cool.
Asmund just kind of throws it to the side. Asmund taking away all the weapons off each of these guys now as he's tying them up.
Just to see how far you throw it, give me an athletics check. This hammer weighs about 50 pounds.
That one. Ah!
You try to toss it, it just clatters to the ground, and the handle of it cracks it down on your foot. You try to hold a straight face. He chuckles at you. That's divine vengeance for you.
Oh, isn't it such?
Asmo ties him up and takes any kind of weapons he has on him too. But he's frisking each of these guys essentially. Asmo kind of ties them all up, each together.
The Baron is a champion of the true God of justice. You will face the gallows.
Oh, you bet. Absolutely, man. Hey, quick question, by the way. Do you know which way is back to the tavern? Which way is back?
It's the way we came.
That's true, but it won't be even wilder is if...
Asmo just grabs them and spins them. Whoa,
all three of them while they're tied together?
Yeah, in a circle.
Give me an athletics check to try to spin all three of these men, two of which have one
19.
leg. All right, you managed to do it. As they're really confused by this little ring around the rosy thing you're pulling, but since the two guys with one leg are on the farthest end, they have the least balance, so the guy in the center is just kind of hobbling around.
Alrighty, well, all your weapons are in this hole if you want to come back for them.
Asmo just throws them all down there.
Did you dig a hole?
No, Asmo just throws them in a pile, essentially, like a little divot.
You guys want your weapons? They're right here. Free to it. By the time you come back here, we're going to be long gone. Just remember that when we had the power, we decided not to plunge the blade. And please be remembering of that next time you hear anything bad about us. Have a good day, boys!
And just kick the one in the middle's ass and push them on their way.
I'm gonna walk up to them as they're leaving. The men.
Yeah, they take a few steps out, just kind of look at each other. And as you start to get there, they were just about to start, kind of trying to run it as best they could, but then they notice you walking up and kind of take a couple steps back, realizing that that giant snake behind them is still yours.
I'll probably join T-Wig as well on this.
Yeah, I walk forward to them. Who's the leader in charge?
Sergeant, the older grizzled gentleman on the
Sergeant
left
Briggs.
side of this man rope. And then there are two younger-looking privates standing beside him.
You have a choice to make here.
I stand with my God.
I just stare at him.
Do you have a family?
The two privates look back and forth very nervously.
Do you have a family?
What's it to you?
I need to know.
He doesn't answer.
Please.
I have a family.
They must be very ashamed.
No, I think they would be really proud. I don't know about you, but when it comes to me, I'd rather have people assume that I'm a villain than to actually be one. Than to be a villain and have people assume I'm a hero. Bereson's Kench is taking advantage of you.
You dare speak to... He's getting noticeably flamed, but realizes his situation and kind of holds his tongue.
Hit me, be mad. But I guarantee you, that man does not care as much as you think he does. I've seen what lies beyond that pyre, and it is a twist of mournful screams and the horrible haunting, unlike anything you have ever seen. Do not be a part of that. Go home to your family. They love you. They want to see you safe. They care about you. That is why I want you to live. Not for a man who has his worst interests in mind, but for your family who needs you more than he needs you. Do you understand?
Give that a. I'll give that persuasion with advantage as you have Wolfgang assisting you here.
Okay. 12.
His brow slightly unfurrows. He doesn't say a word. Come on, men. And he begins walking off.
I'll turn to my snake.
When they get an hour out, when you feel your grip upon this material plane slipping, cut the ropes. Give them a chance.
And I pat my snake.
It is a constrictor snake, yeah?
Yeah, it's got fangs, though. It has a bite attack.
Yeah, I guess it does have... if it's like a python, it would have those little tiny needle teeth.
Get a little nibble.
All right, it's going to do its best to track them, but we'll see how that goes.
Oh, I was going to say it's just going to stick on them. I mean, there's no point for it not to.
And I'm gonna stop them again.
They hear you as they're kind of like wobbling off awkwardly.
This is a kindness we didn't have to show you. But know this. If any more men come after us, we can't guarantee we'll show them the same kindness. Do you understand me?
One of the privates, the one on the far end whose foot you shot off, I understand. And the gruffer gentleman kind of like jostles a little, and he shuts up, and they continue wobbling off.
Let's get back.
Yeah, let's go. Thank you, Wolfgang.
Mm.
Okay, we return to Denier and Asmo.
Yeah, you return to the whole group, I imagine, at this point. Giblink is still kind of sitting on the...
We're keeping Wallace, though.
Yeah.
We kept Wallace, right? Yeah,
yeah, Giblink wouldn't have allowed Wallace to get away. He knows that he's your leverage.
I think we need to don our fake names again.
The return of Mr. Black.
I don't know about you two. You two might have to come up with something new. Since they might know Mr. Black and Mr. White.
We can talk about it on the way to this secret hideout. All right, let's get to it, guys.
Hey, follow me if you will.
While we're walking, let's talk.
Walk and talk, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys continue walking through this nice little field as the snake slithering off behind you, chasing these three gentlemen, or at least tailing them.
Okay.
It looks like it's a bit of a chase because they're a little panicked that the snake is still there.
It's just doing his job, guys. It's fine.
They don't speak snake.
Fair enough.
It's just slithering very slowly behind them.
We need new names. I already got a new one for me. From now on, call me Garden.
Sounds refreshing.
Thank you.
You lot seem a little kind-hearted for all this. You sure you're criminals?
We're not, and that's why we did what we did.
Blasted the king.
Huh?
Blasted the king.
That was an
Yes.
accident.
I can see how that might happen. Yeah.
Denier,
Hmm?
you've been rather quiet. Are you okay?
No, I don't think so. I mean, he used me like a friggin' puppet. Got in my head. Made me do things, think things that I didn't want to think, that I didn't want to do. And I've been sitting here thinking for the last couple of days. Is that what I did to those drow when we escaped from Solomon's lair? Did I put them to the same fate that I'm being put through right now?
And don't forget, they already worked for What's-His-Face, so it only gets so much worse.
You can get pretty worse whenever it comes to him.
Oh, Asmo just
I've
kind of pulls
heard-
down his shirt. Asmo pulls down his shirt a little bit while they're walking and just turns to him.
Oh, I know.
Asmo puts it back and keeps walking.
Remember what he said about the birchwood, the thing at the top of the stairs. You can get worse.
Denier, focus.
Yeah.
You hurt Bahum. What does Denier think he can do to fix it, to make it at least better?
Oh, you plan on fixing the damn dragon?
Excuse me, if you do not mind, this is a bit of a private conversation. I respect your help, but I'm trying to help my friends at the moment. I hope you understand.
I get that, but I'm leading you to my place.
It's the only way we can clear our names.
We're looking at options right now, Flix. Simply all we're doing. I've only used that magic one time before, and that was in a life or death situation. That's magic that I never wanted to use. I have no idea what it did. I have no idea what it's done to him. All I know is that it gravely wounded him and put him on death's door.
My healing magic was not helping him as much as my magic usually would. That part concerns me the greatest.
What can hurt a dragon?
Anything.
What can hurt a dragon?
If anything can bleed, it can die. A lot of things can hurt a lot of other things.
Yeah, but
Would I know what hurts a dragon?
Maybe? Go ahead and roll me a knowledge nature. I guess they are technically creatures.
Alrighty. 8.
I mean, you're assuming that with enough force, anything can die. I mean, these are obviously incredibly powerful beings, but T-Wig's right. If they can bleed, they can almost certainly die.
T-Wig's right.
But there are magics that specialize in attacking dragons. Don't you remember that sword that Asma got?
That is
Right.
true.
Sword of Dragon's Bane.
So, the question is now, how can we help them? Denier, you said you can send a message, can't you? Maybe
Yes.
they won't like you, maybe they'll hate you. But at least if we try to ask how we can help, at least we can do something.
Or if there's a way to clear our names, what we could do.
That's selfish right now, Asmo.
Well, guess what? I'm 50% that right now.
If you talking about sending message, maybe best careful who send to, right? I mean, we are hunted.
No more bugbears.
No, I've got a few ideas.
Ramses is trustworthy.
And he knows the situation.
He does. He would be one. The other one, I think, would be Lady Tia.
Let's go with
Tia.
Lady Tia.
Tia wasn't there. She doesn't know what happened.
But she knows what's happening now. That's what's important, is knowing what's happening now.
And she is partial to us.
Tia, what is a Tia?
Mamma mia, you don't know what a Tia is?
The second dragon.
Gibbling just kind of looks around.
The second dragon at Dragon's Rest.
It's technically 3, and I think it's on the third one. Get mad at us.
Horesh tried to listen, but he was a bit clouded at the time, it felt.
Well, Daenerys just shot his brother, so...
Yeah. He could have done worse, but he didn't, and I do thank him for this.
If Gibbling vote for... Gibbling vote for, what name? Man, other Hume.
Ramses? The
Yeah.
one that followed us?
Yeah, him.
He owes us.
Big time.
He does.
Twice!
He does have their ear.
He's the only other one I know about with knowledge of the Bleeding God.
And he no dragon.
I'd say Ramses then, yeah.
All right. As soon as we get a moment, I'll get a message out to Ramses.
We're walking, so you got a moment.
Yeah. While you're walking, basically, you guys have made it out to the hill lands. There's just some rolling hills that seem to lead off to the mountains that, on the other end is Silver Rock at some point.
Good. Daenerys, you have a plan. Wolfgang. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Can I roll an insight on that?
Go for it. That would be versus deception if you're actually not fine, or persuasion if you are.
8, just like Wolfgang.
18.
He's fine.
He's fine. That glossiness in his eyes is probably nothing.
He's
Okay.
just stoic.
As long as you're okay. We're here if you need us, you know that.
I'll be fine.
Speaking of here, Flix walks over to what looks to be a boulder, and snaps her fingers, and it disappears, and there's like kind of a little stairway leading down. Ta-da!
Oh,
How about you and
fancy.
me go down and we take a look at it before we bring everybody down?
By the
I'll go
way,
first.
retroactively, could I cast Pass Without a Trace while we were walking?
Yeah, sure, I'll allow that.
All right.
It makes sense for what you're doing.
Yeah, it's like I was gonna say, like I wanted to clean up the footprints, but like now just Pass Without a Trace. That's what I should have used.
I like T-Wig at the end with a little brush.
What do you intend to do with the horse you still have?
Oh shit. Let's just let it go. I mean, we don't really need it. It's only one horse.
Be
Actually,
free!
better yet. Hold on. I have Speak with Animals prepared. I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals.
We should eat the horse.
I'm gonna walk up to the horse.
Hello, what is your name?
Chestnut.
Hi, Chestnut, how are you doing? It seems like your friends had a really, really bad evening. I have a question for you.
Shoot.
How many of your kind ran from a big city all at once? Because you had those two friends. Were there more friends? Did they go in different directions?
Well, I was running with Coconut and Pistachio, but now
Rest in
they're
peace.
meat.
Yeah, rest in peace. And that was it. It was just those two other horses and then the men riding them, right?
Those were the ones I was with.
Okay. I'm gonna get this off you.
I'm gonna take the bridle, the bit and bridle off of him.
Oh, thank you very much. It's much easier to speak this way.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I don't think there's much you can help us with, is there?
I can carry things.
That's good. How about you be free instead? Would you like that?
What's free?
You get to make your own choices. No one has to lead you by a rope anymore.
I've never done that.
Well, give it a shot. It could be fun. If you decide to go back to your masters, you are welcome to.
Does this horse have like a saddlebag on the side?
You probably would have removed the saddle. Yeah, it had a saddlebag, and in it was just a few wanted posters.
Okay, I'm gonna
and
put
some
the
pins and a hammer.
I'm gonna put like the bit and bridle into the saddlebag, and then just give the horse a little bit of like just a little movement, like just give him like a direction, and just kind of give him a little jaunty push.
Oh, okay then.
Take care of yourself.
We took the wanted posters out of the thing, right?
If you wanted to, sure.
Yeah, we'll take all those out. We'll just
You
leave
can
the
have 3 copies each of your wanted posters.
Cool. Hold on to that.
The horse begins to kind of like trot off, just looking really confused. Like, what now? Starts stopping at a nearby bush and just starts eating.
It's just I just imagine like a wild ape just running out of the woods, just ripping it apart. Well, that
Mountain lion just descends upon it. It's gone.
Freedom.
Oh, damn, that's crazy.
No, a giant rock just flies by and just grabs it up. It's gone.
I don't know why a giant ape makes it so much funnier. Just ripping it into pieces.
Where are we? The Amazon?
Jesus.
It's fantasy,
I'll follow.
guys. Anything could happen.
I will. If my companions have gone down the ladder, I will follow them down the ladder.
Yeah, it's actually a small stairway. It looks like it leads into a cellar.
Nice.
Or what would
Fancy.
normally be like kind of a root cellar kind of thing.
Asmo obviously is trying to look at everything. Is it like the main is it Flix's main spot or just like a side place essentially?
You can't tell yet because you're still kind of like going under. As you walk down the stairs, everything sort of obviously starts getting darker because now you're in a cave. Luckily, I'm pretty sure all of you have either low light or dark vision.
I do not. I'm completely
so T-Wig,
blind.
it is very dark to you as you're stepping away from the sunlight, and the mouth of the cellar slowly gets covered up by the illusion of the rock again. Yeah, you begin wandering through here, and eventually you start seeing some dim blue light ahead of you, which turn out to be basically bioluminescent mushrooms. And they were blue, but you're also seeing, as you're walking in, some shades of magenta. They seem to be a bunch of different colored mushrooms all around you. The path is starting to get a little bit more refined. You come up to a fork. Flix leads you to one side of it. Try not to lose your way, by the way. If you do, I will not be held responsible for what happens.
Why? What else is in these caves? Or do I want to know?
Oh, just a few deterrents for people coming in to try to find me.
So we're following her right or left?
You're following her down the left path.
Down the left path, okay.
And these bioluminescent mushrooms are popping up a bit more and more. They almost seem to be arranged kind of like sconces that would normally be holding like braziers and stuff.
Do they look like they're planned out, or they just look random?
They look like they've been planted in certain spots, basically. And you continue down to what seems to be another fork. This time she goes right down a much darker path. The lighted path continues on down the other way. But as you travel down this darker path, you eventually come across some more of these mushrooms. And then you find a little hole, or a little path in this little underground hallway that looks like it takes a 90-degree turn to the right. She turns left through an illusory wall.
So, sorry, can you repeat that again?
So you've taken a left, a right, and now you're going left through an illusory wall.
Oh, she took the right path. I thought she took the left path again. Okay, so she went left, right, and then
now she's going left through a what normally looks like a 90-degree turn to the right. She turns left through an illusory wall.
Okay.
And at the end of this hallway, you see a round door with a knob in the middle of it, kind of like a hobbit hole, basically.
Love it.
And here we are, home sweet home. She turns the knob. She seems to do kind of like a combination on the knob. Some blue arcane runes glow around it and then fade. You hear a and she pushes it open. And you are greeted to the sight of a very vibrantly painted little cottage, which would normally seem cozy if it weren't for all of the, let's say, bright colors, as it is decorated in bright, like, cyan blues, dark purples, and hot, like, luminescent pink.
Oh, 90s pink.
Yes, this is
scorch your eyes pink.
This is an 80s soft drink cup, no brand.
Oh God!
Man, house. As you walk in, this place is you kind of have to duck your head coming in because it was obviously built for a gnome. The ceiling, however, seems tall enough for you. Actually, even taller for whatever reason. But as you enter the small round door, this vibrantly painted area, it just seems scattered with clothes all over the furniture, and there's lots of little trinkets and sundries scattered all around on tables, shelves, and desks. Don't mind the mess. I don't have a lot to guess these days. Feel free to make yourselves at home, though.
I'd assume you wouldn't have a lot of guests, considering it'd be a bit of a walk for the neighbors.
Wee bit, yeah. But when you live the kind of life I do, you don't exactly want that many people following you. She kind of winks at you.
Speaking of which, It was good dumb luck that you bumped into us right outside that tavern.
Hey, lucky for you.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't know if it's luck. Were you following us? And for how long?
I was following you for about a day and a half. Thought you might have something interesting. I noticed your friend there's carrying a lot of books. Thought he might have some magic doohickeys on him. Thought I'd read through some of his books. Thought I'd grab a spell book, and it turned out to be some wank journal. Real sob fest.
Azra just kind of crosses his arms, standing in the middle of her place.
So why are you being so kind to us?
You seemed interesting.
Oh. You meet a lot of interesting people. Usually those with bounties on their heads you don't invite over for tea. So please, no offense.
None taken.
What the fuck do you want with us?
Well, let's just say I call it a gut feeling.
A gut feeling.
Aye. Would you like to insider?
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, come on, insight. Come on, insight. Where is it? 12.
From what you can gather, there might be a little bit. Well, there's obviously a little more to it than that, but you're not sure how much more. Like, she might just be going on a whim here. She's very flippant and bubbly to the point that this might just be the kind of way that she meets and greets certain people, especially people that she finds an interest in, like, say, people who have attacked the king. Would you like some
Dinner.
tea?
Tea would be lovely. Denier, do you have to go send a message with T-Wig?
Yeah, I do.
You two should go take care of it. I'll hang out here with Flicks, sorry.
Ansmo,
Yeah.
take a look at the glasses and see how many there are.
Which?
The glasses.
The cups, see how many there are.
I walk off with Denier.
Like scattered around this place, or
That she just owns.
Different cups? Sorry, did I
all
miss that
right?
from your description? Did you cut out?
Do me a perception check then, as you're trying to look around the room for cups.
Out of character here, did you say something about cups in the introduction? Because you must have cut out.
No, I'm asking you to look and see how many cups she has. That's all I'm saying.
Perception, or what do I...
Perception to see if you can spot like cups that are laying around the place.
6.
You see one that seems to have like had some dried out tea in it, sitting on a desk next to a burnt out candle. See one on another table. Looks to be of a different make. Also looks like it had a bunch of tea dried out in it. Like it was half drank and then the rest of it just evaporated due to forgetting about it.
This place is messy as shit.
It's very messy. There's also a whole bunch of like objects just floating around everywhere. But as T-Wig says that, and as you're scanning the room, she kind of calls out, "Fluffles! Tea, please! For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Does your friend drink tea?" Giblink looks down at Wallace. "No." I do. "No, you don't."
Water for him.
5 teas and a water. And you just start hearing some clattering going kind of around the corner into, like, what you're assuming to be a kitchen. So, we'll switch over to Denier and T-Wig, who are,
Okay.
I guess, out sending a message.
Yeah.
All right, T-Week, here's what I'm thinking. Something along the lines of, Kinch turned on us, had subordinate kill Royal Guard. We escaped. Let's see.
State of Bohum.
That's the thing that I'm going to finish up with. Let's see. Jester got in mind. Enchantment magic, not my doing. How can we help? Or should I change it up just a little bit?
That sounds good to me.
All right, I'm going to go ahead.
Kench attempted murder is more accurate, though.
Okay.
Torture and murder, if you can fit both. He was hurting Asmo pretty badly. I could not feel pain, but I was worried for the rest of you.
I'll go with Kinch tortured us. It's shorter. I'll go ahead and send a message. I send it to... I cast sending. I send it to Ramses Palto.
All right.
And... basically, do you want me to say exactly what I say, or basically you get the gist off of what I just went over?
Yeah, mostly I'm trying to get the gist of the things that you're leaving out.
I'm covering that Kinch tortured us.
Gotcha.
That Kinch had one of his subordinates kill a guard. We escaped. We got out. That I did not myself attack the king. That it was enchantment magic, or that it was somebody taking me over, and checking on the status of Bahum and seeing if there's something that we can do. Basically, I'm covering the basic 5 as in few words as I can, because Ramses knows how I talk and he knows how I send messages.
All right. How many words can you reply with?
25. It's like a really, really bad tweet.
There's no hashtag in it, though. I mean,
Didn't have room for a hashtag.
Damn.
You hear back. Glad you are safe. King in rough shape. I can aid in city of return. Read infernal notes. Troubling. Careful who trust.
The king's in rough shape. Ramses has read in some infernal notes. Apparently that's the language that, he and I can read. If we go back to the city, he can help us. He said be careful who we trust. It's not looking good. Basically, I'll relay everything that Ramses told me to T-Wig, if I haven't already done so.
Let's maybe talk about this over tea.
Wolfgang, what have you been doing this whole time?
Wolfgang has been very quiet. He just sort of found a place to sit down, Gendo Akari'd, and was just observing this place. He'd probably detect magic to see if there was anything enchanted around here.
A lot of the little tchotchkes, as you're looking around the room, seem to be enchanted. There looks to be a large ring, basically kind of a circlet that looks to be magical. There's a bottle sitting on a shelf that's full of what looks to be like a black ichor that looks to be magical. There's a pair of gloves just kind of flailed over a chair. And there's like just a bunch of other little magical sundry just sitting around you. Remember, you're in the house of a magical smuggler. And a gnome at that. But those things are the ones that like catch your eye with the biggest presence of magic. Outside of the things that are on Flix's person. Although they were the most magical things until around the corner, you see a giant stuffed bear, like a teddy bear, carrying a tray with a bunch of different mishmash of cups on it and a teapot. Sets it on a table. Thank you, Snuggles. It nods and just kind of like wanders off.
What was that? What?
Oh, that was Snuggles. Gift from Imanda before they left. Tea. She offers you one of the glasses. It's a wooden cup. Like these are all like different types of cups. Like there's like 2 of them that match, and they're like these little teacups, like actual what you would expect to be teacups, but some of them are like wooden cups. Some of them are mugs that look like they were stolen from another tavern.
Huh. Asmo sniffs the tea.
Smells like lilac.
Asmo just dips his tongue a little bit in, like, bleh.
It's hot.
Is it poison?
Give me a, what would this be? Nature check? As Flix is just kind of drinking her tea.
7.
You're not sure. You've never actually tasted this kind of tea before. It doesn't hurt your tongue outside of the burning water as you jab it in there, but...
Asmo continues to do that.
Now, T-Wig and Denier, you walk in as the giant teddy bear is walking back into the galley.
Wow, I've never seen an animated object before.
Really? You seem like the type that has traveled a lot.
Well, closest I've seen to it is Mimic. One jumped us in the mines not too long ago.
Nasty little creatures, those. Although
Yeah.
often you find some of the best shite in their guts.
Yeah, managed to get a little bit of acid from one.
Ooh. That could be useful to the right alchemist.
Mm-hmm. Denir's just gonna look around, take in everything.
I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna slide my tea over to Wallace because I can't drink it.
Giblin kind of sneers a little bit as Wallace picks it up. Then Giblin kind of looks over at you. Just kind of shrugs. Rolls his eyes a little. Everybody's just drinking some tea. And Flix sets down her cup. So, what you planning from here?
That depends. Denier, T-Wing, what did you learn?
T-Wig will look to Denier.
It's not looking good.
Bahum.
Yeah, he's in pretty rough shape. My sources inside of the capital are telling me that he got hammered pretty hard.
Most people who shoot a dragon like that take a little bit of pride in it. I'd never known anybody to do it.
Well,
There is more, those letters you told me about.
yeah, that's part of it. I mean, just the results of them in and of themselves are troubling. Could result to a correlation between what happened to him and the damage that he's taking right now. I think it's more than just a normal spell that I ended up hitting him with. I hit him with something special. I mean, hell, I took the Archmage's arm with him.
He's just sitting there all half skeletal like. I thought he was bleeding dead. Turns out he might be anyway, but...
How'd you know about that?
I was in the crowd.
You were there.
Aye. I was there making a pickup.
What were you picking up?
Ooh, that sounds like somebody who wants to get in on a job.
You know what I'd really like to know is why. As much as I appreciate you inviting us here, offering up tea under your house. It's very kind of you. Do you know why I would find that sketch? Beyond all belief, you say you got a good gut feeling. No one's even better than a gut feeling. Some goddamn answers, so please explain to me why you want to be associated with us right now in the one time that no one should want to be associated with us.
She straightens herself out. The dragons took my land.
Aye.
And you lot, you shot the king of them right in the bloody face. Forgive me for being a little happy about that. Although by your actions, perhaps I misjudged you. But I don't think you're a bad sort. I just think you have weird allegiances.
Dragons took your land. What do you mean by that?
This hill you're under, it don't belong to me no more. Or my family. We fought alongside everybody, helping Lord Arcanos escape out to the east, along with what little he could.
What was that, Lord
Wait.
Arcanos?
Arcanos went to the east? Like,
Aye.
how far east?
Out to the bloody wilds! What do you think this fucking border's out there for? This forest guards the fairylands.
Lord Arcanos, I remember that name. Who's that guy again?
He is, he's the god of magic. I'll just say that. He's been mentioned enough. Father of all elves.
Patron.
How do you spell that? Arcanos.
Basically Arcana, but then N-O-S at the end.
Arcanos. Okay.
Yes, I'm very creative.
Oh, it's fine.
How far east did he go into the wilds?
I don't bleeding know. I was a babe when... Well, I wasn't even born when he was leaving. Me dad was just a babe.
How old are you then?
A few hundred years old. Why? It's very rude to ask.
Okay,
How
so he's
old are
been
you?
missing for a couple of years. Because if you want to know how to cure magic, that's how you do it. You talk to the guy who made it up.
Arcanos has been gone for over Arcanos has been gone for 1,000 years. He's been gone since before the end of this war.
Oh, really? Shit. What's his Twitter?
He doesn't have one.
Whoa, he doesn't exist then.
He still has MySpace.
Oof.
What's his space?
Flix continues. Look, this used to be my grand's land. We used to, well, my grandmother used to tell stories. Used to be magic all around here, these parts. And we'd live under hill, over on the fields. As soon as the end of that war, the dragons just gave this land to those damned humans. And they kicked us out. Not so much as a thanks.
I'm talking about the guys from Silver Rock.
Aye!
Yeah, they're not exactly the best.
Oh, tell me about it. So I heard you were on their own side as well. I thought, may as well. Enemy of my enemy. Friends and all that.
We're not enemies of the dragons, but we are enemies of Silver Rock.
But the dragons are friends of the Kenches.
Oh,
Not
but
after.
For now.
Not for long.
friendships can be ruined by truths being revealed.
And a few human generations are but a blink in the eyes of a dragon.
Aye. As are any human lives. As are any lives like mine. They don't care. They locked up me gran when he was trying to make a living. Tried to stay on his land. Bleeding executed him.
I'd like to insight her to see if she's being honest or she's really like
Go for it.
essentially exaggerating extensively. With advantage, of course, please.
No.
Nah.
No. So that's
Four.
a 4. As far as you can tell, she's very passionate about this. Like, she definitely has these feelings that were either, given to her by her family or, all she knows are basically the stories of anything before she was born. All I know is the dragons have never left to anything but trouble for my family.
So that's why you wanted to bail us out after you saw us being jumped?
Aye.
Well, from here, we don't know where we go. As far as we can tell.
What's the status of the capital?
I have no idea.
There was
Are
something
you
about
allowed back
infernal.
in?
I thought there was something about infernal runes or something that Ramses mentioned.
Yeah, but what I understand is that it was basically he was reading the runes And
he was writing those research papers that you found in Eadric Kench's possession.
Basically, the writings say that the wound is not good. Or the writing is not good.
Yeah, the results that he found are not good.
Okay.
I meant, are we allowed back in the capital?
He said if we come back, we'll have aid in the capital. He didn't say if we're allowed or not.
Specifically said he could aid.
Mm-hmm.
Be careful of who we trust.
Yeah, that goes without saying. I assume that given that we're in a situation like this, everybody already knows that.
Aye, never good to trust anyone stronger than you. Or anyone weaker than you. In fact, sometimes it's just best not to trust anybody.
I'm quickly learning that myself.
So what do we do? Obviously, they want me alive so they can, I don't know, try to extract some cure out of me.
Or he wants you alive because of what you know. He might just have a grudge against you. What we need to determine first and foremost, we've got a lot of enemies. We need to determine which problem we're putting down first. I assume Kinch is number one on the chopping block.
Kinch is dangerous.
I don't know about you guys, but I think it's a bad look when you're trying to cure your claim. You're trying to like earn your innocence, and you go around killing people.
He is a danger to the people around him and the people he claims as their enemies.
And that's just a problem. We have to take it and manage it one thing at a time. We have to manage ourselves right now before we worry about an entire city being run by a fucking dick.
Silver Rock's still going to fall, whether or not we do anything.
Wallace.
Silver Rock.
Oh no. The Kenches are gonna fall. Silver Rock's gonna be whatever it is. The people are just people. Kench sucks.
Wallace is kind of like looking up at you.
Do you actually intend to try to kill him?
Look at what he's done to you, to us, to the people, to the arcane innate for generations. Those people didn't deserve to die. They didn't deserve to be sacrificed to some great monster under the earth.
Don't get me wrong, I have no problem if the man dies. But with the power of his god backing him, I don't see how it's possible.
Yeah.
Daenerys,
keep it in perspective. I understand you want to go help all those people, but how are you going to help them if you can't help yourself first and foremost? You're wanted by them and the capital, so worry about one thing at a time.
That's why I'm asking who we're going to be focusing about first. Because I want the Jester. I want him broken at my feet for everything that he's done.
I'll wait long enough, he'll show up again.
Me and the Jester still got a score to settle.
You and me both.
Daenerys, I just want to clarify something. The voice in your head when all that was happening was not that of the Jester.
Yes, but he's blaming the Jester for it.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure that you, as the player, were not under that assumption.
Yes, I, as the player, know that the Jester wasn't the one that did it, but Daenerys is blaming the Jester.
Okay.
I didn't want to, metagame and instantly know that, what happened. Daenerys misunderstanding, as Daenerys likes to do.
Okay.
The Jester isn't our top priority, though. Kench isn't the only one with a god backing him, though. Wolfgang's eyes sort of light up at that.
Fancy little trick you got there.
Hundreds, perhaps thousands of years of tradition.
don't know where all your allegiances lie. But if you need it, I have a way to get you lot around. If you need to be somewhere, I can get you there much quicker than you could over land.
And how is that?
Well, through the arcane nexus, of course.
Also, just the blinking guy gift thing.
The circles? Or something else?
Think of it like a tunnel through a different plane. And this tunnel happens to have a few exits up here on top of the world.
Interesting.
I was just got his arms crossed, just going like, "Oh well, isn't this okay? All right."
Really now?
You know, I could have sworn I've seen you before. She's looking at you, Asmo.
Yeah.
Don't you run with the dead eyes?
Excuse me?
The dead eyes.
I
could've
kill
sworn
dead
I saw-
eyes. That's what I do. I kill dead eyes. I don't make it a clever gang name. I make it a literal thing.
Is that so?
When did you see me?
Years and years ago. You're supposed to be running security for something.
Yeah. I've done that from time to time.
You telling me
Job
you've
are
never...
you referring to?
This is a job that you would have no idea of. She's referring to a different serpent. You telling me you've never run with the runners?
I'm out of character. I've never storyline wise.
You have never actually been with the Fey Runners, although you do know who they are and what they do. They are magical smugglers.
Yeah. Okay.
The most you've ever done is like guard something before like one of them picked it up.
Most I ever did was security work for the Fey Runners. Why?
Just checking to see if you've ever been to the Nexus before.
No, I have not.
Have I ever even heard about it before?
Give me a history check with advantage, just because of your criminal background.
Yay! Aw. 11.
You know of them. You know of these. A lot of them call them the Runner's Tunnels. That allow them to get places really quickly. And there are a few points that they obviously pop up through. But you're not sure, like, about any of them.
Okay, so you're saying you have access to these magical tunnels. Just you.
No. Plenty of us do.
Are you with the Fey Runners?
Aye?
Well, that's interesting.
Out of character. They kind of like chaotic neutral. Or are they more chaotic evil? Like what the Fey Runners, like.
I mean, they're chaotic neutral as they go. I mean, they're all out to their own ends, but they just kind of clumped into this group.
I mean,
they're kind of like a thieves guild of sorts.
Yeah, they're just thieves. They're not assassins.
Okay.
Thieves and smugglers.
Alrighty, so you're now offering up access to these tunnels to a bunch of people wanted for an attempt on the king's life. You want to give us access. Not only are you going to be implicated, they will kill you.
I'm wanted for plenty of things, love. They ain't never caught me before.
On the other hand, they do find out that you helped us bring Barristan Kench to justice.
Right,
maybe even restore the king.
What do you want?
Ask for whatever you want.
What do you want out of this deal? Flicks. Yeah, sticking it to sticking it to the powers that be is great and all that, but I know, come on, you run with the Fey Runners, there's something more than that. So what do you want from us? Break it down to brass tacks so we can know what we're dealing with here.
Fine. Let's just say I can get you access. But I need a little security. I need a little bit of help. Scratch my back, I scratch yours.
You want us to do the scratching first before you scratch ours?
I'll do the scratching at the same time, depending on where you're going. I got drops to make.
Alrighty. So tell us about this then. Make your pitch.
Asmo sits down, puts his legs up.
That depends on where you're going, love.
Where can you go?
I can get you all the way back to the capital if I need. I can get you to the north of the mall. I can get you down south toward the port. Depends on where you need to go. Because I have a few drops that I got to make.
Can it go even further south than the port? Just curious.
Why on earth would you need to make a drop in the middle of the ocean?
He's from
There's
there.
islands past the ocean.
Can't say I've ever been out there. Don't know if anybody ever set up a tunnel.
I see.
If we can get in and out of the capital, we could keep an eye on things. Although I have sent a letter to Miguel. When he gets it, he should be on his way. I hope, at least. Where are we headed?
No idea.
Well, while you decide that, I think this is as good a time as any to take a little break. Alright, so, you guys have basically finished your tea by now, and Flix has let you know that she's willing to usher you through the Nexus in exchange for you helping her out with her errands. And through the magical Nexus, the ethereal Nexus, you guys would be able to get to any point that, well, around this map that you know about, that you'd be able to get there in significantly less time than you would over land. Not as quick as teleportation, but as far as traveling goes, it's a lot quicker. So what have you guys come up with so far?
Followed either.
It would be significantly more difficult to track you as well. Yes, this is true.
I like the idea.
All right, so what's your plan?
I would say that go with her, do her plans, head to the capital, find ourselves Ramses, talk to him, and figure out. And once we get to the capital, we can see what Ramses has. That way, we can turn Wallace in, and he can at least provide or correlate our story. That Kinch is
Still doesn't clear your name, though. You're still wanted for shooting the king.
But at least it helps alleviate some pressure. It's not a solve all, but at least it helps.
Worst case scenario, Daenerys might have to be locked up for a little bit just in order to make sure your names can truly be clear, but
Okay.
that seems to be the thread of that plan. Flix just kind of listens in. Well, I do have a drop to make at Dragon's Rest. That kind of works for me as well.
Color me curious, Flix. This Nexus, how exactly do you access it? Is it through a spell, or is it through an object, or a ritual, or what have you?
She kind of winks at you. It's a bit of a runner's secret there, love.
Shame.
Although I suppose by experience you'll learn soon enough.
Hopefully.
She's kind of looking around her room. However, if you lot want to go walking straight into Dragon City, you might want to hide your faces a bit better.
Cloak of Incognito goes up.
Well, that'll work.
I hold up the wanted poster and then I hold up my neatly shaved face.
She walks up to you. One sec. She goes and runs back into like this, what looks to be a pile of clothes. Runs up to you and throws an eye patch on your face.
Oh my god, where did Wolfgang go?
I know, it's a miracle, isn't it? Funny thing about this eye patch, Wolfgang, is it appears to be a magician's eye patch, so you can actually see through it. It's got like one of those thin layers of felt. Shouldn't hinder your vision too much.
Thank you.
Looks over at Asmo. You've got a bit of a distinct look about you, though.
Oh, thank you.
Do you have anything that could fix that up? Because I'm not sure I got nothing that can really do that.
Nope. I'm just gonna
Sure
be
about
popular. I got nothing really I can do.
No magical items that you don't know about?
Oh, right. Oh my god. I still have that gemstone I never got looked at. Ah.
Yeah, that's one thing I wanted to take a look at last session, but I didn't get the opportunity to, as well as that potion.
So you hold out that purple gemstone?
The one I found?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so you know what that does.
You know just by me holding it what it does.
I was asking if you knew.
No, but we
The
can figure it
most
out.
Wolfgang got out of it was that it's transmutation magic.
Over here, Asmo. Hand me anything that you want to get looked at. Anything that anybody has that you need to get looked at, and I'll look at it.
This just places
Alright.
it down.
I'll put down my orange potion that I got in the I can't remember. I think I got it from the mine. Oh yeah, and that skull from the desk in Kench's hovel. I also have that. Apparently it was magical, I think.
Yeah, it was lightly magical, but that's more of like an ambient magic. It was from a magical creature.
Gotcha.
It can definitely be used for alchemic ingredients and stuff like that. But it is a human skull. Also, that would have been taken from you. Oh, wait, no. You got it back because you helped you gather all your things.
While I'm at it, Flix, if you have anything you need to get looked at, just let me know and I'll look at it as well.
Oh, I've got my own ways of figuring out what these things do, love.
Fair enough. Had to offer. I begin ritual casting Identify. It's going to take a half hour for these 3 things, but basically while everybody's talking the plan and getting everything set up, Daenerys casting.
Flix actually starts to look at you. Oh, boy. She starts to yawn. She pulls out like a monocle. Dink. Lifts up the potion. Tell me your secrets, little baby. And the monocle kind of glows red. This right here will turn you invisible. Got a potion of invisibility.
Oh shit, I will take that gladly.
And she just sits there waiting for Daenerys to finish cast his ritual on the
You know what?
gemstone.
Since it's only first level, he'll go ahead and he'll burn a spell on the gem.
All right, this is a... Look that back up. It is a Amulet of Alter Self.
Ooh.
Amulet of Alter Self. Okay.
Yes.
What does that do?
Let me pull back my notes again. Alter Self 5e.
Ooh, Alter Self is...
Alter Self. You assume a different form when you cast the spell. Choose one of the following options, the effects of which last the duration of the spell, which is up to 1 hour. While the spell lasts, you can end one option as an action and gain the benefits of a different one. You can do an aquatic adaptation. Your body... You adapt your body to an aquatic environment, sprouting gills, growing webbing between your fingers. You can breathe underwater and gain a swim speed equal to your walking speed. You can change appearance, notably. You transform your appearance. You decide what you look like, including your height, weight, facial features, sound of your voice, hair length, coloration, and distinguishing characteristics, if any. You can make yourself appear as a member of another race, though none of your statistics change. You can also appear as a creature of a different size than... you can't appear as a creature of a different size than you, and your basic shape stays the same. If you're bipedal, you can't use this spell to become quadrupedal, for instance. At any time for the duration of the spell, you can use your action to change your appearance in this way again. And the third way is natural weapons. You can grow claws, fangs, spines, horns, or different natural weapons of your choice. Your unarmed strikes deal a d6 bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage as appropriate by the natural weapon you choose. And you are proficient with your unarmed strikes. Finally, the natural weapon is magical, and you have a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls when you use it. Denier, that you know that this thing has one charge a day, and it refreshes at sunrise.
All right, I will convey all of this information to Asmo.
Asmo just kind of makes a face, like kind of like purses his lips, goes,
Okay, all right, that's really fucking convenient, let me tell you. Because otherwise, you're gonna have a snake walking around downtown.
Well, you still have to take something that's a little serpentine shaped. So some form of lizard man, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a snake. Or you can also turn yourself into a dragonborn, for that matter.
Could I actually, Asmo's got a disguise already planned now.
Oh, that works out.
I got something.
Do you see a devilish grin? Ding!
And for the heck of it, I'll identify the skull to see if there's anything specifically magical about it, or if it's just slightly magical.
It is a human sorcerer skull. You can grind that up into bone dust. It can be used for various alchemic purposes, but it's basically just a grisly little artifact that you're carrying around with you.
Yeah, T-Wig, you want to bury this as soon as you can.
I will.
I put it inside my chest cavity place.
That's one of the arcane innate. I don't know why they had it.
He was experimenting on the using the bones, remember?
Yeah. Well, it was sitting on a desk, but I can see what he was doing. Probably using it as just sitting on a book or something, but yeah.
Yeah, just a magical little paperweight.
And Denier relaxes and he goes back into his long rest. Until everybody gets ready.
And he Flix kind of points over at you, T-Wig. What about you? You could always take off that armor, I suppose.
About that, I am not body positive about myself. So yeah, it's real bad. But I can like turn into animals and stuff, so that should be hopefully okay.
Oh, you mean like that giant metal snake? Yeah, that'll be great for hiding.
Well, I could be something small. I mean, I don't know. I guess I just kind of don't have.
The ears kind of dip down.
I swear I've seen that type of armor before.
What do you mean?
Well, it looks gnomish by design.
Well, yeah, about that, yeah,
The oil is dripping down my face.
She snaps her fingers. Hold on a tick. She goes and starts rummaging through some stuff and eventually comes over to that metal ring that you noticed before, Wolfgang. Aye! Something like this goes to it.
The metal ring?
I'll take it. Is she offering it to me?
She's like holding it up. I mean, it's not for free, but kind of like holds it up and puts this circlet kind of like over it, hooks directly behind your ears. Aye, it's a little bit of clockwork mechanism there.
What does it do?
Well, try to get it to like swing down a little.
Okay, I'll adjust
the
my
eye
ears.
slots. You adjust your ears and the circlet swings down. Your vision now looks kind of like, you get kind of like a red hue over everything. And you feel as though you could fire this thing.
I flick the ears up and I take it off, like just kind of like panicking.
I don't know about this.
Hey, this was used back in the war.
Yeah, that's why I feel uncomfortable about this.
Oh, fair enough, love. She holds it back.
What does it do exactly? I don't want to accidentally hurt someone if I were to have accidentally done it.
She goes to explain that essentially it is a circlet of blasting. It will cast Scorching Ray 3 times a day.
I look to my companions.
It's not bad. I mean, you've seen me use that spell all the time.
It's yours, isn't it, Flix?
Aye, but I ain't got nothing that works with it anymore.
How about I give you, this?
And I pull out an acorn.
Might have to be a little bit more worth it than that, I'm afraid.
You kidding me? This baby can grow and then can feed a generation of squirrels for years to come.
Yes, after 100 years when it grows into a fucking oak.
Alright, I forgot about that part. I don't really have anything, I'm afraid. I'm sorry.
Well, if you're looking for it, I'd be willing to part with it for 500 gold.
That's a lot, and I do not have that, and that is okay. Honestly, I kind of like stuff like that, that Asmo just got. I like that. That's cool. That doesn't hurt anybody, I don't think so.
Depends on how you use the things, I suppose.
I guess, yeah. But, thank you, no. Can I ask, where did you get this item from?
This? Oh, it belonged to my family.
And they were also gnomes?
She kind of like looks down at herself. Last time I checked, yeah.
What was your family's name?
Me gran gave up the name of the family after they stole our land and took me grandfather.
Oh, okay.
It didn't happen to be Adson, did it?
Not that I'm aware of.
Whew. I appreciate it, but I will have to pass for now. Thank you, though.
Fair enough. You know where to find me if you're ever looking for it.
I got something that you might be interested in, maybe for a trade.
Let's see what you got there, love.
Denier pulls out the page of scribing, and he sets it in front of her. Supposedly, you put this... I'm pretty sure you know what this is, but you put this on any kind of text and it makes an exact copy. You put it on a spell scroll or a spell book, it makes the scroll of the spell.
Aye, I'm aware. The guild leader loves using this stuff. Although he has reams of it.
Ah. I only came across one in my travels.
Well, where'd you get it from?
We found it from somebody in the capital. Nobody of real importance.
So are you interested in it or not?
Not really. It's not very hard to come by.
I'll do you one better. Asmo pulls out the magic lamp. Punk!
Where the bloody hell did you get that?
I killed it for it. You should have seen the damn djinn that came out of this. It blitzed Wolfgang here in a single second.
You're telling me there's a djinn corpse in there?
Oh, no corpse.
Thought you said you killed it.
Oh, whatever the equivalent it is for a djinn.
We defeated it in combat.
Yeah.
That'll do. It's not quite the same as death. There's a djinn in there!
Yeah.
Ooh. You can make a pretty penny off this one.
How much do you think this would go for right now in the underworld?
Depends on if I could find a buyer.
I'll
How
tell
much
you
are
what.
Looking for?
Tell you what. Find a buyer, you take 20%, and you give that to T-Wig.
No, guys, it's fine. Seriously, I actually don't really like having a weapon like that. It's totally fine. Hold on to the things that you own. It's completely fine. I
actually do want to get rid of this, actually. I don't want to risk summoning him. He just goes for me again, or just kills Wolfgang in another second again.
Oh, so it's a dangerous djinn. Or is it more of like a coin flip? Like, is it just like an antsy little bastard in there?
It's hard to really say. All I can say is how many guys did he kill right before we got into that room, guys?
I saw 2 corpses in the room.
It's 2 Yeah, he killed the day of his death. always defeat, so.
I could
Tell you
probably
what.
find a buyer. Let's see
All right,
if I got anything for trade.
What's your share?
She's actually kind of scrounging around like some stuff. What sort of stuff do you like doing? You seem like the killing type.
I like to stab shit. You got anything like that? Hit shit with a hammer, chop them with an axe, slice them with a dagger, pierce them with a sword.
I got something a little different than that. She holds up what seems to be kind of a gauntlet. It's got 4 holes on the knuckles.
What, pray tell, is that?
They look like hollow barrels on the knuckles. Well, basically, if you throw a punch with this little bad bastard, and you hit something with it, then you just crank the wrist like this. She she does her best to basically she puts like a mage hand inside of it, and the wrist clenches, and you hear the mechanism of the gauntlet go click, 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 like 4 distinct clicks in a row. Well, obviously it's got to be loaded first, but you can fire off some bad juju at them bastards. Basically, she's offering you a what I'm calling a gauntlet of blasting.
For the gen.
I will give you the statistics of it. When you make an unarmed strike with this gauntlet on your hand, you do a d4 in damage. So basically, like a level 1 through 3 monk dice. After making the attack, as a bonus action, the user can choose to use up to 4 of the gauntlet's black powder charges to deal an additional 1d4 fire damage per charge used. This feature must be reloaded before it can be used again.
I have an out-of-character question.
Sure.
If I were to wear a magical item and transform into an animal, does the magical item carry over?
It would fold into your being, kind of like the way you transform normally. If you were to use
couldn't use that as like a if you
were a gorilla, you would not be able to use the circular blasting. Like with anything, when you're turning into an animal, it just kind of becomes part of you, and the item itself is not usable until you are in your form that allows you to use it.
Okay.
Well, that is a hell of a tantalizing weapon. Ooh.
The thing is, I don't specialize in unarmed. Like, I'm not an unarmed fighter, though, technically.
Yeah, none of us are.
Well, that's the thing. This gives you, proficiency in this unarmed strike attack.
Oh, okay.
Basically, it's considered... It's a weapon.
What's its base roll damage?
Base damage is 1d4, where your normal unarmed strike would just be your strength modifier.
Basically, dude, you can have the gauntlet on, have, Ecornog or fire ant with it, and if you get disarmed, you still got a weapon.
Yeah, it's something that you have that you wouldn't have to draw, and it is just a gauntlet that you're
okay, wearing, that is actually really fair. I just gotta get out of dodge kind of attack. Oh no, I have the defensive weapon from Bloodborne.
It's actually pretty strong. I tried the average on 5d4 plus, and then of course you'd add your strength modifier to that.
Yeah, no. Asmo looks at the gun. Asmo places the lamp on the table.
Do we have a compact?
You mean a contract?
Compact. It's different for thieves. Do we have a compact?
If you're willing to make a base trade, then yeah.
You're probably ripping me off, but I don't want this thing. Bad juju on this end. It's a deal.
Asma goes to shake her hand.
Her tiny hand meets yours, and you can kind of wrap your whole hand around it.
Asma slides the hand away, and
she goes and sets the lamp gently on a shelf. That will do for now.
Be careful summoning him again. Last thing that happened, he was cursing us and said he would get revenge or something like that.
Oh, good thing I'm not you then.
Oh, yeah, good thing you ain't.
Asma tries on the gauntlet.
You could probably get bonus points if you said you killed us.
Fits like a glove. I'll allow you to describe what it looks like. All that requires is basically there's 4 hollow shells at the end of the glove.
You know what? I'm not gonna say what it looks like yet. I'm gonna think about it and maybe
Feel free.
I want to. Well, it's It is a fantastic looking gauntlet. Is it made out of metal?
It is metal by design, yes.
Asmo puts it on his right hand.
All right, it's in your dominant hand. Just remember, while you're wearing that, the drawback of Frostbite is whenever you have that equipped, you have to wait for it to thaw in order to use your hand again.
That's true. I switch it to the left after thinking about that for a second. No, the other hand. Well, I almost spilled my water all over my notes.
By the way, it is also a master craft weapon, so you do get a +1 to hit, but it is not considered magical.
Okay. Oh,
so
awesome.
I'll add that to your stats here real quick. This specific attack, while you guys discuss anything you need to discuss.
As I was just looking at his new gauntlet.
You know, if we can actually pull everything off, Flix, we could actually make a very interesting partnership. We go around, adventure. If we come across anything that we don't need, we could come back to you if it's of use, and we could pass things off to you.
I can agree with that partnership.
Clear our names first.
Yeah, of course. But always thinking about the future. Always good to have friends.
All right, are we good to go?
Think we are.
All right, let's go.
All right, you got the blaster knuckle on your hand, and the knuckle shells, which are 1d4. Oh, hold on, shouldn't be +2. Should be.
No worries, dude.
Plus nothing. There we go.
Groovy.
There we go. 1d4 fire and 1d4 +2 bludgeoning. Cool. All right. Well, if you're ready to head out. Did you guys want to take a full rest today at all?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I think we wanted to do that. Yeah.
Asmo got messed. Asmo got like.
All right. So you guys are gonna spend the night at her place. There's not a whole lot of good place for you to sleep. One of you manages to find a. Actually, let's go with a survival check here real quick. We'll do combating.
9.
14 for T-Wig.
21.
21
Yeah.
for Wolfgang.
11.
Wolfgang, while you're scrounging around looking for a good place to set up, you do find what looks to be a large kind of sunken-in bed, something way larger than would be fitting of somebody like Flix. It's just kind of covered in a bunch of like rags and scraps and clothes and stuff. Looks like it was being used as a hamper. Looks like it hasn't been used in a bit. But you do find an actual large bed.
How many people can it fit?
Probably 2 medium-sized creatures comfortably.
Well, most cats like to sleep at the end of a bed anyway, so. Anyway.
All right,
It's about the size of a queen-size bed.
Wolfgang doesn't care. Whoever wants first can go ahead and take the second spot.
Wolfgang just kind of curls up in this pile of laundry.
I would actually like to do something before I go to sleep, though.
Sure thing.
I would like to try and contract my patron again.
All right. Give me a insight check. Or a charisma check, actually. Just straight charisma.
Natural 20.
Ooh. All right. Gotta
Oh my God.
Music. As you kneel down, you think, you just, with your deepest might in this most dire of hours to you, you're just trying to contact your patron. Something that is so rarely ever made attempts to contact you or even reach out outside of, granting you its will through your power. But as you do so, the world, your vision as you have your eyes closed begins to fade light. You feel its presence. It doesn't seem to notice that you're there, though.
Hey. Hey!
Huh. You hear the voice of a man just kind of like react to your presence as if he was like distracted by something. Oh. Hello. It says in Celestial.
Greetings, I say in Celestial back.
It has been long since I have been contacted.
I imagine so. Imagine not many people are blessed with these powers of mine.
Your bloodline is complicated.
That I believe. So, you must be this god of life then?
I have been called as such, though it does not feel a fitting name at times.
Why?
My children, they're dying. And it's my fault. My recklessness.
No. This isn't your fault. You gave men free will. What they choose to do with it is their doing. What you gave them was a gift. Some of them squander it. Some of them wish to preserve the life that you gave them, like myself.
You know not what you speak. You know not what I speak.
Perhaps. I'm simply an enforcer of will, a protector of life, a slayer of monsters. That's all I've been, and that's probably all I ever will be.
All of which have been my creation.
But I chose this. I didn't have to go through with that ceremony. I didn't have to come back when I retired after my wife died. But I did. Protect the world from the devastation that it's suffering now.
Perhaps there is hope.
Why did you... I'm sorry.
You bear great burden. I have placed it on you, your family. I wish only to take back what I have done, but find it impossible.
What was that?
I wish only to take back what I have done, but find it impossible.
Take back what you've done.
Yes. Maybe then she can forgive me. And the light goes so blinding, it fades from your vision.
I had one thing to ask him, though.
Ah, shit.
I'm gonna shout, why did you show me my son? I had a vision. We were floating far above Dragon's Rest. I saw my son. Why?
in your head, you hear, "The key is within you." And the song-like language of the Celestial burned into your mind. It kind of fades off in an echo as the world begins to feel a little less warm and you find yourself back sitting by the bed. Flicks and a giant teddy bear standing next to you. Would you like a little bit of tea to fall asleep to? You seem to be a little on edge.
I'll be fine. Just leave me.
All right, good night then. She jumps up into the teddy bear's arms. To bed, Smuggles!
He's in
and
me.
starts carrying her away.
He is in me. As long as it's not an Elliot. He doesn't have anything. I'll be the one to finish this fight. With that knowledge, he'll go to sleep.
Denier has a couple things. Go ahead, Monty.
No worries. You go first.
Denier has 2 things he would like to do while resting and everything like that.
Sure thing.
The first thing that he's going to do is he's going to pull out a small brass brazier. He's going to begin to burn charcoal, incense, things like that. And he is going to reach out into the weave of magic to call upon aid from either Fleetfoot or Arcanos. I'll give you an option on this one, Lani. I'm casting the Find Familiar feat, or the Find Familiar spell. Should Arcanos answer, it will be a Celestial. Should Fleetfoot answer, it will be Fey.
All right.
And
I'm going to. Arcanos would actually be Fey.
Then it's going to be Fey. Or, well,
yeah,
either way.
Fleetfoot is the god of nature. His would be some form of animal, just neutral animal.
Okay, then we'll go with Fey. Since it either has to be Celestial, Fey, or Fiendish.
All right, so you reach out and you call to your patron god. Yeah. What sort of? Do you just want him? Do you just want him to send you one?
Basically, pretty much. He's asking for help. That everything is becoming too much for him. The assault of the bleeding god on his is becoming too much for him to handle, and any assistance, any kind of aid would be greatly appreciated. He knows that Arcanos has long since fled, but he's shown kindness to the Whistlesteins, and he hopes that Arcanos will show kindness to him as well.
All right, you reach out, calling into the ethereal plane, trying to get contact with a god that has left this world behind long ago. And you hear a little bit of skittering. I want you to make a perception check as you look around, because this has broken you from your trance.
All right. Perception. That is a nat 1.
All right, you start looking around. You're hearing the skittering, but you're not sure which way it's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
You reach up to scratch your head, and as you do, your hand makes contact with something fuzzy before you connect to your ear.
Mm-hmm.
Seems to nuzzle into your hand a little bit, this rounded face with very soft fur. And it crawls down your arm, and you have this, what appears to be a bright orange weasel crawling over you. It looks you in the eyes. Kind of tilts its head to you.
Denier smiles. He holds the weasel against his chest. And gently, of course. Greetings, little one. Thank you for coming to my aid. And Denier will lean back against the wall, and he will spend time with his new companion, and he will read the journal of the Jester of Bordeaux.
All right. You pick up where you left off. You start trying to go through entries. A lot of them just appear to be very, very much like, today I found this guy. He's dead. Haven't found anybody of use in a while, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
Let me find the next entry on your list here. Actually, did I already enter it? No, I did not. Oh, wait, no, I can't do that on that one. There it is. All right. You're kind of curled up with your weasel as you're reading, as you're glazing through this. Players' journals. There we go.
There it is.
And you find this next passage here. As you begin to read on, let me find my appropriate music. I found a traveling boy while stopping at an inn near Birchwood Creek. The stone in our sword seemed to resonate around him. He didn't seem powerful, though. He did have a few zombies in tow. Don't see many of them this far south. The jester would surely have made quick work of him, but for some reason, I decided to speak with him first. It seemed he too was pining for someone he had loved and lost, and perhaps it was some semblance of kinship within me, but I couldn't set the jester on this child. I hope he finds his peace. Though I find no small concern in the fact that this stone seems to have a means of being tracked. I'll have to look into a means of hiding it. Side note, starting to run low on coin. May need to try my hand at the old profession as we travel north. Though I haven't had much of a song in my heart lately.
Totally fucking Fezziwig.
And that's the only entry of note that you can find that isn't just like, yeah, stopped at this town, stopped at that town, blah, blah, blah. Within the couple of hours before you kind of drift off to sleep as the weasel kind of curls around your neck like a little neck-warming scarf.
All right. Good deal. And
Anybody else anything to do before they...
I mean, I'm gonna be awake the entire time. I'm gonna try cleaning up a little bit of Flix's place. Just not moving anything that seems too important, but just like generally just putting things away in cupboards and organizing things into the point where I go dormant.
All right, go ahead and do a... let's go with dexterity check, just straight dexterity.
Okay. Oh, 16, okay.
Yeah, not bad at all. As you're looking through you're finding empty spots here and there. You're obviously afraid to touch a few things just because you're not sure where they would go, but you managed to get the clothes all set aside onto one place. Even separated some of the clean ones from some of the more dirty ones that probably need to be cleaned. You managed to collect all the cups and place them in the galley of a kitchen, which actually isn't very bad. It seems like there's a small natural running water spring that's used as a sort of a makeshift sink.
Mm.
And yeah, you get this place a little bit tidied up. The floor looks relatively cleared up. As you're going through, you do notice a few more magical items that were either not offered or bargained for. One seems to be a bottle that Wolfgang initially thought was full of like a black ichor, but as you're holding it, it looks like it's actually kind of a smoke, like a black smoke just contained in this bottle.
Mm.
And then there's
Is there a mirror in this room, like in her hideout?
Yeah, there's one. You managed to take a robe that was hanging off of one, and you found it. It's a little dirty and tarnished, but you rubbed it clean. You see the metal face staring back at you.
I'm gonna break the mirror.
All right. Do you want to do that quietly at all?
Yeah, as quietly as I can.
Then roll stealth.
Hey. 15.
Yeah.
You hold the robe back up over the mirror and shake it out. Didn't seem to stir anybody. You kind of hear Wolfgang kind of turn over in his sleep a little. But now the mirror is splintered at the center point where you punched it. Your face looks like it's fractured into 7 pieces.
Cover it back up with the robe, and I just keep cleaning up, and I just ignore that.
All right, Asmo, anything you wanted to do before going to bed?
No, Asmo just wants to go to fuck to bed.
Asmo curled up.
He got hit with a hammer. He's tired.
All right, next morning you guys wake up and T-Wig, you notice that the bear at some point during the morning walked into the kitchen and started cooking something. You can hear the sizzling of something or other.
Okay, I'll stay dormant as it's not a threat.
Yeah. Flix walks out not too long later. Oh, you're an early waker.
Yeah, totally. The early bird gets the worm and all that.
She's looking around. Huh, where did all my shit go?
If you're looking for your plates, they're organized up in that cupboard, and your clothes are folded there. The dirty ones are on the side there, and then, well, you'll find it all. It's just been, moved, slightly cleaned, I guess.
All right, then. She looks a little, confused as to why you would do that. Partially thinking that maybe you were trying to, rob her of something.
Look, you gave us a safe place to be, and I don't know how to thank you, so I thought maybe I would just make the place that we're at maybe a little bit nicer. Not to say it was bad, but, I found some really old cheese and stuff, and it was pretty bad, but,
Oh, where did it go?
I put it in the cupboard next to some other food.
Throw some cheese in those omelets there, Snuggles. Apparently it's in the cupboard. Told you we didn't lose it. Can have cheese omelets.
Sounds delicious.
Oh, Smuggles is a good cook. So it probably will be. Asmo, you're woken by the smell of cooked eggs. Same to you, Denier and Wolfgang, as you are presented basically what looks to be a very neatly flipped omelet. It seems like professionally done, even with a little sprig of parsley on top.
This is way fancier than I deserve, but thank you.
Asmo just unhinges his jaw and just swallows it.
Not much for savoring, are ya? She's just kind of nibbling through hers with a tiny fork.
No, I'm savoring mine all right.
Anything you guys want to do in the morning before heading out?
I let the party know what I've learned.
Yeah. All right, so he regales you with the tale of the jester, and also you notice that he has a fancy new scarf on.
I think you cut out there. He said,
sorry.
He said what?
He regales you with what he learned of the jester, and you also notice that Denier has a fancy new little furry scarf on. Did I cut out again?
A little bit, but we got you.
A little bit,
we got the
you.
gist of it.
Yeah.
I got
Okay.
the gist of it.
Yeah, he has a fancy new scarf on.
Oh.
And it eventually pokes its head up, and it reveals itself as a weasel.
Oh my god, I love it!
I stand up immediately.
Its ears flick at your movement. Looks
Hello,
at you and
tiny friend.
it kind of lifts up its hand and kind of waves at you.
What's that?
It's a weasel.
Yeah, but where did you get it?
How was it? I don't know. It's like, is it always been here, or did it wander in here?
No, I summoned it last night. I asked Arcanos for help, and Arcanos sent me him.
A wandering weasel. Okay.
Is it the same color as the weasel on the outside of the wandering weasel?
Yes.
The same damn color as the wandering weasel sign.
It's really cute.
Big
He's
man
also
asking
Fey.
people.
It kind of sneezes and a little bit of colored dust comes out of its nose. Seems to sparkle in the air and then dissipate.
I can also do this. I lift up my fingers, snap him. He vanishes from my shoulder, I point at the top of T-Wig's head, snap my fingers, and he appears on the top of T-Wig's head.
Oh my god, where did he go?
Its tail is brushing the back of your robot neck.
I don't know. I don't feel, so I don't know.
You feel.
I flip around and I kind of like...
You have a sense of touch.
Okay. I kind of reach up and I just kind of scoop the weasel up.
It knowing that you're no threat to it just kind of lets you. It has a little blem of a tongue sticking out of its mouth. Mm-mm.
So what's its name?
I have not asked it yet. Unfortunately, I was too engrossed with the book and bonding to attempt communication with it.
I will hand the weasel back to Denier.
Thank you.
Well, speaking of asking people for help, Asmo,
Yeah.
when we get back into town, I want you to come to my house with me.
Why? Why?
I think there might be something in there that can help you with your little thing.
With my.
He points to his chest.
Why have you been keeping that hidden from me for so long?
I didn't know. It was just a hunch I got last night.
I got sleep last night, so okay, sure. Let's we'll try and swing by there when we get there. But to be honest here, I don't know what our timeline's gonna be. And besides, Asmo just looks over at Denier. I don't know. I just hope they don't try and kill him.
Well, if we get that fucking prick's mark off of you, that's one less thing we have to worry about.
Yeah, I fed him enough bodies. He should be okay for right now. But in the immediate, let's think about now problems. Future. That's an issue for future Asmo and future Wolfgang. But thank you.
I just don't want him to interfere in our current plans. He's already done enough.
Yeah, fair enough.
Let's do it. All right, Asmo comes up, just starts cracking out his limbs. Just.
All right, y'all ready to go?
Yep.
All right. Hold down the house there, Snuggles. We'll be back. And she opens up the door and ushers you guys out. And she leads you back through the tunnels out to the fields again. And you begin kind of like walking through the fields out towards the forest this time. She's kind of humming to herself as you go, and basically takes you out to kind of the the northern edge of the forest. You're completely bypassing Wild's Edge, heading this way. All right, just got to head this way in towards the clearing.
So you go through the portal to the clearing. I thought it was set up in the caves. Yeah, you'd think you're right.
You don't live next to a Nexus portal. That would be crazy. You know what kind of shite might come jumping out of there.
No, I don't.
It's true. Having a portal that leads to a different plane leads to some things.
Let's just say it can be a little more dangerous than I'm letting on.
Yeah, I know the kind of things that live on other planes. You don't want to mess with them. Denier looks at Asmo before he continues walking.
Asmo's a snake man.
Oh, he was more referencing the moment that they shared inside of the Bleeding God's realm.
Ah.
As I'm just trying out his gauntlet.
Yeah, you don't have any ammunition for it, although you might be able to borrow some black powder from Wolfgang.
Oh yeah, no, I know a guy. He's all about that shit.
Yeah, some interesting beasties have been popping off in there lately.
In there. So how does this work exactly? Do we just walk through a door and we're right there, or is there like a tunnel or something?
Oh, no.
Basically, you kind of make a stop in a clearing. this is the spot. She points over to a tree that has like a very large, it looks like a very large knot in it. Kind of about, I'd say, 5 foot in radius. She adjusts a ring on her finger. All right, got to give you a few little tips when we go through here. Stick with me and try not to fall.
What?
She puts her ring up to... basically, there's like this little notch on the side of the tree, and these runes all begin to glow around the tree as the little veins in the bark begin to glow this purplish glow, and then they sink down towards this knot at the center of its husk, and a swirling kind of maroonish portal forms.
That's... Wow. That's freaking foreboding.
Your ears might pop the first time you go through. It's natural. You kind of build up an immunity over time.
Okay, then let's do this.
All right. 1, 2, 3. And she hops in. You can see this like almost Rick and Morty style portal thing go like along with her.
Well, I'm the one who suggested it. I'm the one who suggested coming along here, so say la vie.
Asmo steps in too.
Daenerys places a hand on Wolfgang's shoulder before he goes in. You know, as they're going in, Daenerys going to make sure he has a hand.
All right. So you both walk in tandem?
I suppose so.
All right. You both jump in the portal. Shoop, shoop. And T-Wig, I'm assuming you follow?
Yeah, I'll slowly enter in, kind of give the tree a pat on my way and like smacking the door frame. All
right. Yeah, high five to Tree Bro as you step inside. On the other side, weren't kidding, your ears definitely popped. This area, you were in this kind of like nice springish forest with a nice, like it was nice and warm, and in here it feels very cold, like your very skin is trying to crawl off your body. Your eyes take a moment to adjust as you see a lot of purple and maroon in front of you. And as your eyes refocus, you start to hear Flicks, "Everybody make it through this like dim hum that came with the popping of your ears. Giblink and Wallace are obviously with you as well. They followed Asmo through. And as your eyes begin to focus, you see around you this looks like this wispy void with rocks floating all around you. Like, there are various spaces where gravity just does not exist, and you're standing on this very wide-brimmed platform. And everything's kind of giving off this sort of violet glow.
How far away is she? Can I see her?
She's about like 10 feet in front of you, and the portal behind you as T-Wig walks through. "That's everybody!" She presses her ring down, and she seems to be standing next to this little kind of stanchion sort of thing, and she presses her ring into it, and the portal slowly behind you, and you see nothing but void back that way.
You know, if you wanted to double cross us, this would be the time to do it.
Wouldn't it, though?
I wouldn't recommend it.
Don't get your panties in a bunch. You're helping me out too, remember? She's got a little sack on her back. And she kind of like shrugs it over her shoulder. Now, like I said, try not to fall. It's a very, 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 very long way down. In fact, I'm not really sure what's down there. Nobody is. Or at least nobody's been able to talk about it. She has this kind of like haunted look on her face as she says that, realizing that she was making a joke that even to her was a little off color. Anyway, come along. She starts walking forward, and you can see as you walk to the edge of this platform, there are significantly smaller discs of about the same make, all giving off the same glow, and they are forming very small pathways leading forward.
Is it like made of stone or metal or some kind of rock? Or
it definitely feels like it's made out of some type of stone. Could be marble. You haven't like reached down to touch it with your hands, but it's giving off this violet luminescent glow. And she jumps out onto one of these smaller discs that seem to be making this little pathway that's probably about 10 feet across, but there's like little gaps in between them. And it kind of bobs a little bit as she hops onto it. Don't worry, they support weight. Plenty of it. And she begins hopping down this pathway further in.
All right, Asmo follows suit.
Yep, as you set your foot out onto one, you can get to like one per step, but you definitely are watching your footing very carefully as you're doing so, because there are these probably 6-inch gaps in between them that just lead into the nothing. But by carefully walking forward and not having to do any sort of actual running, you're able to keep your footing, and you eventually sort of get used to the pace that you're walking at. Same goes with the rest of you as you walk onto these. They kind of bob underfoot as you step on them, but you get used to it as you walk along.
Yeah, Daenerys keeping an eye out on everything, trying to learn everything that he can about the place.
Yeah, this place is like, you know, the arcane, and this place is just made of the shit. This is an entire world made out of magic. This is stuff that you've only read about.
Mm-hmm.
And you see that these small rocks are just kind of like floating in the air, like little bits of gravel. Kind of like they're in no gravity. And sometimes they'll clatter off each other and separate and start floating in opposite directions. Sometimes you see a bigger rock. How's everyone doing back there? She kind of calls back from the front of the line.
Absolutely terrified.
That's about right.
I feel really weird.
You do feel really weird, T-Wig. This is your first time in another plane entirely. Well, yeah, at least a plane that is not directly connected to the normal realm.
You know, as far as planes go, this one's better than what I'm used to. I actually find this place fascinating.
I'm fine.
He says.
Insight. Just by the way he said it. 9.
Go ahead and persuasion or deceit if you wish.
Natural 20.
Oh!
He is a stern, stone-faced man. As after about like 5 minutes of walking on these little platforms, you end up on another larger disc. And Flick starts looking around. It's a little odd. I feel like somebody's been fecking with this. You can start to see that like some of the platforms are a little misaligned, like, you know, the ones that you were just walking on. There appear to be a few that are kind of off to the side as opposed to being directly in line.
How many people use these tunnels?
Well, pretty much any runner that's worth their salt, but I don't know why they'd do something like that.
Can anybody who has one of those rings use these tunnels?
Aye, but they need to have the ring first, and you need to be of the upper echelon in the runners to get them. And these things are the things that can let you, you know, move these around as long as you get to the proper control panel. Huh. Well, either way, our path is this way. She points forward, and it's a little bit slower going, but the footing is still fine. Like, you're still able to hop from one to the other pretty easily. But they're definitely getting more scattered as you go forward.
Maybe somebody was being followed by something. They changed the way the discs are to throw whatever was following them off their pace.
I hope you're right. I had a friend who... Well, he fell.
How long ago?
A few years now. Poor Gender. You can tell that she's got that same kind of like sound to her voice that she did when you were referring to the half ogre, or the half ogre that you knew she traveled with.
Out of curiosity, Wolfgang is going to pull out the blink rock.
Sure.
I'm going to cast light on it.
All right.
And I'm going to let it slide out of the. I'm going to let it slide down off into the abyss.
All right. You toss it over the edge and you follow it down. And it keeps going. And I want you to make a perception check. As it is slowly but surely leaving your line of sight.
15?
As you're trying to continue forward as well, you toss a little bit forward and ahead of you. But after about 15, 20 seconds, you completely lose sight of it, even with the light on it. And it hasn't returned to your hand either. You continue forward, and these platforms are getting even more scattered about. Excuse me. And you make it to the next little plate. This ain't right. As she's looking around.
What's not?
All around you, as you make it to this plate, you see these discs scattered everywhere around you. Like all over the place. The path you came in on was a little ramshackle, but there doesn't seem to be a path forward. All these discs seem to be arranged in a way that they're scattered.
Well, you make a wrong turn or something?
No, this is definitely the way, but why would...
Do the Fey Runners have any enemies?
Hold on. Do you hear that?
Passive perception 21.
You hear nothing. Like, absolutely nothing. The absence of noise.
Yeah, my ears are ringing a little bit from gun being fired constantly near my ear by Wolfgang over here.
Suck it up.
All right.
I'd like to make a perception check.
Yeah, go ahead.
And
Yeah, it's just dead quiet. Something not right here.
is it like
when she steps her foot down, you can hear like the click clack of her little gnome boots, and she starts to look around. Where's the platform? Where? It's over there. And T-Wig, with your passive perception, anybody else like to make a perception check?
Sure.
Outside of Wolfgang, who already
18.
attempted.
19.
All right, Asmo and Denier, you see really quickly what appears to be the shape of a feline kind of dash forward and land on a platform opposite you guys.
Denier's mom?
But it's a quadrupedal feline.
And
Denier's.
Hey, come
His
on.
dad had no legs, so it balanced down to 2.
Come on. My dad was short, but he had legs. Come on. Does the cat look familiar?
It looks unnatural to you. Like, it doesn't look like a natural cat.
How big is it?
By the dimensions of this game, medium, so about 5 to 6 feet in length, and it has tentacles.
oh fuck! It's a displacer beast.
It's kitty weapons!
It's kitty weapons!
But more than that, you also hear a voice permeate through your heads.
Snacks, perhaps. What brings you this way?
The voice sort of like echoes around you.
We just seek passage.
Magic among you, I smell it.
My ears drip down.
And behind, another cat appears, and then another, and another on a platform opposite you. And behind it, wisping into existence, is a very large form that starts to see. It seems to peer out of the ether. Its eyes glowing yellow. Its teeth also yellowed and jagged, chipped, and its skin this sickly blue.
I smell the arcane. Give me sustenance.
Flix seems a little taken aback. What the devil are you?
Hungry.
I would like to activate Armor of Light.
What does Armor of Light do?
I can cast Mage Armor on myself without expending spell slots or material components.
Oh, is that a,
That is an invocation.
Okay, cool. Go ahead.
Boom.
Can you guys,
Wolfgang...
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, sorry, yeah,
Wolfgang's-
it says my mic wasn't being picked up.
Wolfgang's coat, well, I guess it's just his vest and shirt, begin to pulse with this radiant energy as what appears to be kind of a very light film appears throughout his over his body.
Yes. That. Feed me.
Oh, you like that, huh?
Asmo pulls on Flix's shoulder.
Where's the closest door right now?
She points off to the left of the map where all these scattered platforms are. That's the way we need to go.
The closest way, not the way we need to go. The closest way out of here.
Back the way we came.
There's no other doors before then?
No, we're kind of in the middle of the Nexus here. The only other one would be where that thing is standing.
Well, then I suppose we know what we need to do. Wolfgang summons Requiem.
Are the doors resistant to magic? Can they be damaged?
The doors are magic, you bleeding... What do you want?
Sustenance.
Hungry.
The cats begin to kind of like disperse a little bit.
Feed.
And he blinks out of existence.
Question, does he look like what the Kench guy looked like, the demon-looking guy?
No, this guy looks
Okay.
very different. He looks
Very
almost
different?
like an
Okay.
ogre. But his skin is blue and he's got this weird arcane glow to him.
Mage armor.
Alright, the cats are sort of like hopping about on these platforms, all nimbly bimbly like.
Do you think you can fly in here, Wolfgang?
Probably.
Distract him. We'll get over to that door over there. We'll get the hell out of here because that thing's not gone.
Whatever you are, if you don't call these things off, they're gonna die.
I don't think he cares.
Well then.
What's your plan?
Above game character, Connor, would you like to, since we have the 3 platforms right now, do you think you could fly over to the platform on the top right as a distraction while we get everyone over to the door and then fly over, essentially? Like this? There, distraction, then there, over there. Since you'll have assisted flight.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and activate Radiant Soul.
All right, go ahead and click that. All right. Most of you know that Wolfgang has these sort of translucent wings that occasionally pop up on his back, but this time when he activates this being the first time that you've done it at this level, it looks like there's almost a skeletal feature to them, and like you can kind of see the outline of what appears to be a skeleton along with the wings itself. And the wings look a little bit more feathered. Everything seems a little bit more opaque and light. Gives off this radiant glow as these wings sprout from his back.
Wait, are you saying it seems less bright?
No, it's definitely bright. Like, it just seems like they're more formed, whereas before they were just these translucent things that were barely visible.
Oh, interesting. Okay, all right. Come and get me, you bastards.
All right.
And I'm gonna
roll initiative. Yep, roll me some initiative.
6.
Soft 20.
14.
22.
Damn you, Bob.
All right, let me get you guys in order here on my tracker. Do-do-do. We got 14. And a 6. All right. Denier, you are up.
All right, so the first thing that I'm going to go ahead and do is I am going to cast Magic Missile on this boy right here.
All right.
One of the closest ones?
Yep.
Fire away.
Okie doke.
As you summon these balls of arcane energy around you. They go
7
hurling.
damage.
They go hurling off one after the other, smacking true against this betentacled cat, nearly knocking it loose of the platform it just leapt to. Did my music just stop?
Yeah, the repeat. It should.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, it's starting up again.
As the balls individually smack against this cat, dealing a total of 7.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it looks at you and it gives out a massive hiss.
I'll hiss right back.
Yeah. Do you have a bonus action or a move you'd like to make?
No, I'm good right now. I don't get bonus actions with my spells until Storm Sphere's up.
All right. Then Asmo, it is your move.
It's now Asmo's turn, huh? Okay. Asmo's gonna look to Wolfgang and pat him on the shoulder, and Asmo's going to run forward to the right a little bit to try and get their attention. Ah! Making noise and readying a defensive action.
All right. You got one that's already been smacked by Denier, but go ahead and give that a... I'm going to say persuasion or intimidation, whichever you choose.
Persuasion or intimidation? 15 persuasion.
All right, let's see. The 2 that Denier did not hit, that are still on the platform, seems to give you some It seems to give you some attention. There.
Oh.
I was gonna choose a different music since that one keeps cutting out. All right, so basically these two back here look toward you, Asmo. You seem to have gotten their attention, and this one back there on the big platform still seems to be like looking out for something else, just kind of keeping an eye on the group. All right, dude, the Denier hit. It's going to make a leap. Boom. Starts booking it this way, and that will be the end of his turn as he sits there and kind of like gets into a crouch position and looks as though he's focusing on Denier. And next up we have Giblink, who's sitting on Wallace's back. Let me move him appropriately. Bam.
Good old Ghibli.
He's gonna line up a shot with his bow. Disadvantage because the beastie. He seems to hit where you see the beast, but the arrow looks like it goes through and kind of clatters against the bottom and skitters off the side, falling off the edge. He looks a little confused by this as he pulls out another arrow and tries to shoot again. And the same damn thing happens. It clatters against the ground and rolls off, going straight through what appears to be the beast's body. All right. Giblink is vexed.
Oh no, they vexed our studio Giblink.
Yes. Next up, this one's going to make a leap at you, Asmo.
Shit. I ready to defensive action? Do I get the...
I'll allow you to take the dodge action, so he'll take this with disadvantage. His first attack with disadvantage.
Yay.
All right, let's go. All right, one tentacle comes out and whips towards you, but you duck it nimbly out of the way as a second tentacle comes careening down. And that is a 16 to hit. Will not hit you, will it?
Does not hit, no. Dex fighter.
All right.
Yeah.
As it comes careening down, you manage to kind of parry it with your knife, and it kind of slinks its tentacle out of the way, trying not to get cut. All right. Next up, Wolfgang.
Alrighty. Let's see.
What are you gonna do here, man?
Only move 30 feet, so I'm going to move. I'm going to fly over to around here.
All right. As you leave that space, one of the tentacles of the cat whips out at you. You were in its threat range.
Oh, it has reach.
Yes.
Kitty Whippers got that reach, yo.
They do. That is a 17 to hit.
That will...
Will that hit you with mage armor?
Yeah.
Okay, that'll still hit you? All right.
Yeah.
And it slaps you. You take 7 damage as this tentacle kind of rakes against your back.
Ah.
You feel these barbs as they, like, cut into your flesh, but you pull away from them. And you manage to fly over there. All right. So you've moved there.
Now I'm just figuring out the range on this. And right there will be perfect. Wolfgang's gonna reach to his back, look at the blood that he just spilled, and he's gonna be like, "All right, you mongrels, you messed with the wrong one." And I'm going to cast Sickening Radiance.
Oh no, it's so sickening.
All right, go ahead and click that spell.
Dim greenish.
Yeah, go ahead and read it.
Dim greenish light spreads within a 30-foot radius sphere centered on a point I choose within range. The light spreads around corners, and it lasts until the spell ends. When a creature moves into the spell's area for the first time or starts its turn there, the creature must succeed a Constitution saving throw or take 4d10 radiant damage. And suffer 1 level of exhaustion.
Wow. All right.
So I'm going to choose right here, I think, which will hit all of them. Wait,
Except for the one by Asmo.
Nope, it'll hit all of them.
Oh, right there. Okay.
And it'll just barely miss Asmo as well.
I'm glad that was you and not freaking Nick doing that. I was like, ooh.
All right, so can you draw me where the center is again?
Yeah, hang on. It's one over. All right, it's 2 down from that one. So,
all right, there we go. I'm just gonna draw a ball. I'm just gonna draw a ball at the center of its space.
Yep.
All right. Well, a sickening green glow seems to overtake this these purple luminescent rocks. And the area kind of looks a sickly beige as you stare into it. It actually kind of hurts to look at. All right. And speaking of which, that starts the next cat's turn. That must be a Constitution saving throw. What's the DC?
DC is 15.
This little bitch fails.
All right, so he takes 4d10 radiant damage and suffers a point of exhaustion.
Roll it out.
7.
Oh my god.
Well, it's exhausted now. That's nice.
That's
I
so
rolled
tragic.
3 1s? Are you kidding me?
That is very sad. Sad for you.
Oof.
All right.
Statistically, what are the odds of that happening?
Very low. Very low. Like, for all of them to be below 5, that's like flipping the coin and getting tails every single time. But for them to be a bunch of 1s, that's like rolling a d10 and 4 times and getting 3 1s.
Oh, also, I should have mentioned with the rest of my movement, I will hover 10 feet in the air above the platform.
All right. So you're an additional 10 feet higher. Gotcha.
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, with that cat, he's looking like he kind of shakes a little bit and horks up a hairball and immediately attempts to get out of this. Let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20. The closest way he knows how would be to jump back here. Kind of gives this weird echoing growl. And ends its turn by trying to shake loose whatever the fuck it's going on in its head. Flix, who was just about to like make a dash for that way, notices that the big ball of green energies pops up. Ah, bleeding hell! So she turns and pulls out her dagger, and she makes a swipe.
Oh, fuck, I completely forgot. I actually have Heavenly Conduit as well, so it actually takes an additional 4 damage, so it took 12.
All right, I'll mark that down for it.
It's an additional 4 damage?
Yeah.
It takes an additional 4.
You mean 11 damage. I'm sorry.
Wait, will that hit? I believe that will, actually. She pulls out her dagger, and Asmo, you see this as a noticeable scar appears above the eye of the one that's directly in front of you. And it begins to bleed a little bit. This bluish, greenish ichor starts forming out of its eye. All right.
After she pulls out her blade?
You're not seeing her attack, but you do know that this thing just got cut. All right. Next up, we got other dude. So go ahead. He has to make a con save. He failed his DC as well.
All right. He suffers a point of exhaustion and takes... That's better. 31 points of radiant damage.
That is much better. Plus the additional 4, right? So 35?
Yeah, plus 4. So 35 points of radiant damage.
All right, this beast looks like it just got, concussed. It starts to stumble left and right, and it stumbles, whoops, sorry, don't mean to move that. Stumbles backwards and just starts, like, hurling up hairballs. Like, it's just kind of shaking, and it's trying to find its feet again as it's looking around really disheveled.
This is the one in front of me, right?
No. This is the
that's
one,
near
that,
near the
near the
platform.
back.
Okay.
All right. With that, it is now T-Wig.
Okay. I'm going to cast Conjure Animals. I'm going to summon a giant eagle next to me.
All right, let me give you a friend. Here's your
It
friend.
is a
eagle.
large. It's a large creature, so
It's now bigger.
nice. I am gonna order it that if anybody falls who are my allies to save them. Basically, is what I'm gonna tell it to do on standby.
Oh, smart.
And then I am going to. Yeah, sure. Hold on. No, that's concentration, and I can't do that. All right, I'm gonna swing up next to this, this cat creature and kind of hold it away from Wallace and Denier.
All right. Is that a grapple check that you're trying to make?
Oh, I'm just standing within its way. Like I want to stand in its way.
All right. That works as well. Don't wish to make an. Oh wait, no, you used your action. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right then. All right. Cool. Back up to Denier.
I cast invisibility at 3rd level, causing both Wallace and Giblink to vanish.
For the purpose of this, they are now invisible.
If they're attacked, that gives them disadvantage. That gives the Displacer Beast disadvantage to attack them, and if they attack, they get advantage.
All right.
And
Cool.
Denier will defend.
All right. So you're taking dodge.
I can't take dodge, but
Oh,
I'm
that's
just
an action,
flavoring.
right?
Yeah, dodge is an action, but I'm defending.
Keeping your eyes about you.
Yeah.
All right, Asmo, your turn.
Asmo, seeing this Quiddy weapons into him, green glow behind him, Asmo's gonna whip out his wonderful blade and say, Econog, and pull out fire hand at the same time. Asmo is gonna hit him with 3 attacks.
All right. The Wolverine ice claws crystallize and form over your right hand as you pull out fire ant blazing in your left.
Let's do this. First one, 15.
At disadvantage, you miss.
Oh, it's a disadvantage. Oh, shit.
Yes.
A second swipe, 10.
Also a miss.
And fire hand at disadvantage, 10.
Oh.
And while you're hitting directly where you think this thing's body is, it's just flying straight through. Like, you can't seem to get a clean hit on this thing.
Oh, damn, my weapons are magical, too. Shit.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Displacer
fucking
beast, brah.
woo.
What did you say, motherfucker?
I said ooh, fucking woo.
All right.
Ooh,
this,
ooh, fucking woo. I thought you said boo fucking who. I'm just like, Jesus, dude, what the fuck?
No, I
This-
said ooh woo.
This dude that was coming after Denier needs to make a con saving throw.
I said ooh woo, because what is this?
All right. What was your DC again?
15.
All right. This one passes.
All right, it takes half damage.
Yep. Go ahead
And
and
it
roll
does
it.
not suffer a point of exhaustion.
It's kind of the important part of this, but the damage is still happening.
6 plus 4 is 10 radiant damage.
All right. Gotta mark that down on him real quick here. All right. He looks a little singed, but he steps out. And that is still within 10 feet of Denier, and he lets out his little whippies.
Reaction to shield.
Go for it.
AC is increased to 21.
All right, well, that's definitely going to block that first whippy. As the first tentacle crashes against your arcane shield. Second one is a 23 to hit.
That will hit.
All right, the second one comes around from the side and deals a mighty 5 damage as it rakes contacts with your arcane ward, I'm guessing.
Yep. It gets through my
you hear
first
it. You
shield.
hear it kind of crack.
Yeah, it doesn't get through the secondary shield.
All right. And that is that kitty's turn. Giblink, who is now invisible. This is not greater invisibility.
No, it is just straight up invisibility. I just used it as a 3rd level so that I could cast it on 2 people.
All right. Giblink doesn't quite get this, I don't think. So he's going to take aim at the cat that's been whipping at you. And once again, the arrow clatters to the ground and skids off the side as Giblink kind of pops off as he looks like he's floating in midair. What was that?
He does have advantage for attacking through invisibility, I believe.
Yeah, that would have only
Evened
countered
it out.
the disadvantage, and
Yeah.
that was still a poor roll, unfortunately. But he'll take another shot.
Yeah, hopefully Wallace is invisible.
Yeah, it looks like Giblink's floating, but now that he is visible, the disadvantage does the same exact thing, and Giblink's starting to curse in Gobliner's breath. Just says, motherfucker! He's never dealt with a being like this before. Alright, one by Asmo now needs to make his con save. Fails miserably.
Yay!
4d10 and a level of exhaustion. 25 plus 4 is 29 points of radiant damage.
That's pretty good.
Man, fucking, you're so clutch right now. Holy shit, this spell.
Alright, the cat looks like the blood dripping out of its eye starts to like ooze a little harder as it makes a shift around you. Shaking its head, it now sees a giant bird.
Meow.
And it starts to swipe at that. Since fatigue, that's at disadvantage, right?
It has disadvantage on ability checks.
Oh, so attacks are still the same then. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm guessing a 25 will hit this massive bird.
Yes, it will, absolutely.
All right, as the tentacle whips up at the bird, it takes 10 points of slashing damage as the other tentacle whips up towards it as well. Will a 17 hit?
Yeah.
All right.
They don't get disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws until the 3rd level of exhaustion, Lani.
Gotcha. Second one doesn't hit quite as clean. The first one definitely ripped a bunch of feathers right off the eagle's breast. The second one kind of wraps around its leg and scars it up some, dealing an additional 6 points of damage to the eagle.
Okay.
It was now like squawking and flapping wildly at this crazy fucking cat thing. Wolfgang, it is your turn.
Now, do I keep those other two at bay, or do I help out here is the question. I think.
I can't metagame. I want to yell so loud.
Wait for a free action on your turn.
You know, everything kind of seems to be honky-dory over here at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to...
Can you fly into your own radiance?
I'm going to fly above it.
Okay, so you're 10 feet up now, and this thing's a 30-foot radius sphere.
Yeah.
You'll have to fly an additional 20 feet, or 20 foot up.
20 feet up. All right, I'll fly 20 feet up, and then I'll fly 10 feet diagonally forward. And from this point, I'm pretty sure I can see a whole bunch of stuff. I am going to...
Yeah, you can see over the crest of the glowing green sphere that you left.
I'm going to keep the other Displacer beasts at bay, or at least distract them. I'm going to fire Requiem at the one furthest to the right.
All right, roll to hit with disadvantage.
All right. 10.
Pew! The bullet ricochets off the ground as you, again, you kind of felt like you got this beast. It didn't even seem to move as the bullet ka-ching, ricocheted off the ground
All right. I'll raise an eyebrow and I'll fire again because of Thirsting Blade. 16.
All right, you think this thing's playing some sort of trick, so you aim a little bit over to the side and you fire, and you connect with the beast square in its breast as it lets out a... Go ahead and roll damage.
All right, and because I'm currently in Radiant Soul, I deal an additional... I deal an additional 7 radiant damage with this. 13, and because of Heavenly Conduit,
It's an additional 4.
It's an additional 4, so 21 with 13 piercing damage, and I don't even know if it matters with Displacer Beast. It's 21 damage overall, but...
All right, cool. 21 overall?
Yeah.
There. Okay.
And then I'll just say, come and get me, you bastard cats!
It kind of has this, like, open mouth, like, ah, look, as if it, like, it's never felt this pain. All right.
That'll be my turn.
It will, in fact, like, it's not sure what to do because it, like, knows that stepping through this thing is bad. It knows this ball bad. So it just kind of positions itself, like, further away and goes back and starts licking its wounds a little. Yeah, this cat has been taught to fear this light. Next up, we have Flix, who now seeing this beast is not really attacking Asmo.
Man.
Is going after the cat that's in front of her.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was 24. Holy shit.
24? Let me
24 damage overall.
adjust then. Cool. Alright. At disadvantage, however, she swings her knife at it. It glows with this same kind of violet hue that the rest of this place is, but it misses the beast as it seems to wipe through what looks to be a mirage.
Oh, I failed to mention something about seconding radiance. Actually, I don't know if it will come into play, but
They
all
each
the
give
display,
off a 5-foot glow. Yeah.
Yep, all the Displacer beasts that failed their con save all give off a 5-foot glow of light, so they can't benefit from invisibility.
Yeah, they are lighter now. Like they're definitely giving off light. Wait, no, hold on. Yeah, now it's other beastie that's back here that started like kind of like wandering up and like pawing at the sphere. And just kind of like wanders back with its friend. Starts trying to like clean it as well. Blem.
Are they all blepping?
This one's like helping to clean this other one as it's licking its wound. It's licking the back of its neck. They're just cats, man. T-Wig, it's your turn.
I would like to first order my giant eagle to grapple with the Displacer beast currently fighting Asmo.
Got it. Displacer beast grapple check.
But it's exhaustion, so...
Yeah, it's going to be at disadvantage. Go ahead and roll a d20 for the eagle for me. I don't have its stats.
It's a d20 plus 3. So it'd be a 12.
D20 plus 3, 12. They match.
So then I succeed, I believe. The attacker succeeds, isn't it? How that goes?
I think so. Yeah.
All right.
The bird now has the beast.
Okay, the bird is going to, with carrying a creature, can only move half its movement, is going to fly over to the abyss and just let it go.
I knew it!
That's good shit.
Gonna yeet it off the fucking platform.
Yeah, I'm going to yeet. Kobe for accuracy, yeet for distance.
Excellent, you know the mantras.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see here. Do. Okay. So, your eagle flies out with the beast, and it begins to let it go, and the beast starts to kind of like slip as it's like clamoring and holding on to it. Roll around back to its turn. It'll have like one chance. I'll give it one chance with reach to do anything.
Okay. As for T-Wig, because that's actually my free action to command it. I am going to cast Bees, question mark, on the Displacer beast in front of me. So they have to make a Constitution saving throw.
All right, and this is the one that made it save, so it doesn't have disadvantage. Still fails.
All right, so it takes 12 points of damage, and most importantly, it moves north, so it goes back into the Radiance again.
Oh, that's great!
You know what that
That's
means, kids?
really
It needs to make another Constitution save.
When it starts its turn, right?
Nope, whenever it enters it as well.
I believe it says if it starts its turn or the first time on its turn
It's
when
both.
it enters there.
When a creature moves into the spell's area for
fair enough.
for the
fair enough.
All right.
That's fucking teamwork.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow, that's some clutch teamwork.
You
I'm just sitting there
beast.
trying to-
I
I'm trying-
beast him.
You beast him.
I'm just trying to hit shit with my sword. You two have got these fucking galaxy brain strats over here.
Just like how I
Leonard's
horsed
like,
that guy.
Give me a wall of flesh, please.
All right, go ahead and roll. Hold on, it has to try to make this con save.
Yeah, making another con save.
Monty BP.
I said the DC is 17. Yeah,
DC is
what was
15.
it?
15.
Oh, then it makes this one, yeah.
Okay,
roll
so it only
take
takes
Damage,
half.
though.
So another 7 plus...
Plus 4 is 11.
And it took my 12 points of poison damage as well.
Yep, I already got that marked down.
Right.
Jesus Christ, is that a cantrip?
Yeah, it's a cantrip.
Oh, that's disgusting.
The thing about it is poison is one of those things that almost everything resists.
Yeah, everything resists it. The nice thing is that this makes a move. So I am going to use my bonus action now. Actually, no, I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna use my. Actually, I'm gonna use my bonus action to heal my eagle with Healing Word.
All right.
So I'm gonna heal it at. I'm gonna use it at level 2. So I'm gonna heal it for 8 points.
All right.
And that one.
The eagle seems to, as the kitty is like whipping at it as it's falling from its grasp, the eagle begins to glow with a green, clean energy, and some of the feathers begin to sprout back on its chest, and the wounds begin to stitch over.
All right.
All right.
Oh boy, here he comes.
Bonk.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Feed. And he is going to, seeing what just happened, shove Flicks.
Oh, fuck.
All right, that's he got a nat 20. And
Oh, no!
Funny enough, Flicks rolled a 19, but he's still way, way stronger. Bonk. Now she needs to make a con save.
Yes,
she
she
gets
does.
shoved into the sickening radiance, and she fails.
Okay. Beans. Yeah, I can't restrict anybody from this damage as well. Roll 4d10 plus 4. 23 radiant damage, and she suffers a level of exhaustion.
All right. As Flicks flumbles in there, you can see her start to like kind of spin, and she doesn't quite lose consciousness. Gender? As she kind of like spins about, and with his action in place, that's his move essentially. All right, back up initiative order. We got Denier. You are right next to this big, massive man whose eyes are now turning down towards you.
All right. Hopefully it'll work. Denier begins casting. He uses a level 3 spell. A rift begins to form in front of the great beast, and another great beast emerges. a beast of horns and claws and gnashing, toothy maws.
How many actions is this? Is this casting an action or a bonus action?
It's an action. I thought it was my turn.
It is. It has a reaction that allows it to attack casters.
Oh, fuck.
Go ahead.
Beans!
Does a 17 at this moment hit you?
Let me see.
You said your AC was 21, right?
That was before.
When he had shield.
18. I have mage armor, and I have an armor class of 13, I believe. Let me double check mage armor.
So, by the way, silly question. Oh, I'm next. Never mind.
Yeah, you're after Daenerys.
Yeah, I'm after Daenerys. Yeah, I was remembering that.
Isn't mage armor +3? Or +5?
Mage armor is
I'm pretty sure it's +3, right?
+3. So I get
AC
hit.
13 plus dexterity.
And I've got a dex of 3, so it does hit.
All right. So as his massive claw comes wailing down towards you, you take 6 points of damage as it slams into your arcane ward.
Arcane ward is still up.
All right, that was his reaction. Go ahead and finish casting your spell.
Okay. Then the rift is going to open, and the great behemoth of a bleeding god minion comes through and snarls at the great beast.
All right, let me give you an abomination.
What are you fucking doing?
Let's see, I think this would be an arcane check versus insight to try to deceive him like this? Or would this be against your spell DC?
No, there's specific rulings for this. Let me go ahead and let me click the image for you.
Yeah, that'd be better. So I'm not just making shit up.
A creature that uses its action to examine the image can determine that it's an illusion against investigation against the spell save DC. So it has to use an action to look at it and then confirm it's an illusion.
Okay. What if the illusion is attacked? What happens then?
The same.
Physical interactions with the image reveals it to be an illusion because things can pass through it. A creature that uses its action to examine the image can determine that it is an illusion.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so he has to use an action either way to figure it out.
Either way, he looks at this thing like,
"Whoa!" And it roars right back at him. You want to fight something? Fight Big Brutus here.
It gives this sickening grin as it sees this beast. It's been a while.
Oh, fuck.
So we got information.
Asmo.
Brutus,
okay, quick question. From what I can see about the big creature, is it incorporeal, much like the kitty whippins?
The big guy?
Yeah, or is he more physical?
He looks like a mountain of beef.
Perfect. Asmo gonna see his kitty weapons he was brawling with just get picked up and dropped away. So Asmo,
be careful how you move.
Oh, don't worry, I know what I'm doing here. Asmo runs up right to the side here. Do I connect with him right here?
As you do run through that space, that other cat's going to get a whip at you, though.
Oh, it is? Alrighty.
Yep.
But he's not leaving its combat space, though.
Oh, you're correct. Never mind, then.
Asmo's gonna come in here. What's the condition of that one kitty whippins that T-Wig was brawling with?
The one that's in the bubble right now?
Yeah. It's kind of half obscured.
It's managed to shake off this radiance, and it looks pissed as fuck.
Alright, looks pissed as fuck. Asmo's gonna try and blitz that thing because Asmo.
Which thing? The big dude or the cat?
No, the little cat first.
Okay.
Asmo turns and swipes down with Frostbite.
All right, with disadvantage.
My bonus actions. Use my bonus action for movement. Correct. Just want to double check that.
You used your move action for movement.
Oh, good, because I'm gonna use my bonus action to activate Fighting Spirit. I get advantage, so now I get average.
All right. Yep.
So I get 2 attacks down.
Go for it.
Gambate.
Roll your attack.
24.
That hits. As your eyes gleam, you begin to see kind of through this thing's trick. It's leaving kind of this mirage image of what you assume to be its real body. But as you swing down a little to the left, you manage to punch it square in the chest. Roll damage. As it lets out a sickening...
9 piercing, 2 cold.
All right.
And Asmo, with his second, he's going to swing down with Frostbite again. 10.
This time, unfortunately, it manages to whip your hand out of the way with one of its little kitty whippins whips. And you just don't seem to get it, and you didn't get a hit. It definitely it sees that you see through it now, though.
The key to hitting it is not to aim for it, but to aim for its after image, which is actually it.
Yes, it's now starting its turn here, unfortunately, so it needs to make another con save.
Yep.
And it finally failed.
All right. Takes
roll your 4d10.
4d10.
You sound so upset with him, but I love him right now.
Oh, it's
Nick.
great.
30 radiant damage.
All right. But before we go into anything there, it whips your arm out of the way, Asmo, as it starts to kind of shake and convulse. It begins to violently vomit up this bluish, purplish, glowing ichor as it collapses to the ground. This kitty ain't whipping no more, as it is violently thrown up its entrails. Giblink, now seeing that there is a much bigger beef mountain standing in front of Denier, luckily as he's on Wallace's back. Maybe this one real. He fires an arrow, and it lodges itself in the meat of the creature, and then it like kind of flicks off as if it just didn't penetrate. Mother! And he pulls back another arrow. And this one sinks in right in his left breast.
Ah, my tit.
Oh, my left breast!
Ow, my tit.
Oh, shit.
As the arrow sinks in, Gil's like, "Ha! Got him!" He doesn't even break eye contact with Denier. Ah, for fuck's sake. Kitty dead.
Lani, for notification's sake, Wallace is now visible.
Okay.
I did
Wallace
drop
is
him
now
in the
visible beneath Giblink. Hi.
Ah!
All right.
Normal guy screaming.
All right, this thing at reach, is going to attempt to make one more grapple check with your eagle. If your eagle can evade this, then he's dropping into the abyss. So go ahead and roll your d20 for your eagle, as this thing has disadvantage. Okay, he has to get lower than that. Oh, fuck. Okay.
17.
The kitty whippins rolled a 20 and then an 18. So it grabs onto the eagle's leg and begins to try to like drag itself back up.
Okay.
That will be its action, though, as grappling is not technically an attack. It does not get its multi-attack. But it's trying to swing the eagle with its movement, just trying to keep it off balance as it's trying to pull itself in and wrap itself around as its tentacles slowly climb around the eagle.
Okay.
All right. So that one's still alive. Wolfgang, it is now your turn again.
All right, I'm going to dispel Sickening Radiance.
Good call. The sickening glow dissipates as Flix is in really rough shape.
But she is no longer exhausted.
Dispelling the spell dispels all of its effects?
Yeah, all of its effects. The kitties that failed are no longer exhausted either, and they are no longer glowing.
All right. She's still in really bad shape, but she manages to shake off what looked to be that concussed glaze in her eyes. And the two kitties back there are now kind of like shaken free. Ow. All right. Go ahead and finish the rest of your round.
I want to do something really stupid.
Oh, man.
There's the words.
I could, but I'll play it safe for now. Yeah, I'm gonna wait to see what they do. Instead, I'm going to level Requiem on this big ball of beef. I'm gonna fire.
All right, go ahead and fire at Beef Mountain.
It's going to be a 18.
That, I believe, will hit the gentleman.
All right. That's going to be 10 plus 4 plus 7.
Jesus.
Yeah, I have a really nasty combo.
So that's 21.
21.
Just lighting him up with DPS.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's only the first attack on my turn, so.
Oh.
All right, a massive chunk of meat goes flying off of his shoulder as you shoot him through the back of his cloak.
I warned you, bastard. And I fire again.
Go ahead.
14.
That will miss. As the bullet comes careening towards him, he lifts up his arm and the bullet kind of flattens against it and tricks to the ground. Tink, tink, tink.
And as a bonus action, I am going to... Am I even within range right now? I'm 30 feet in the air currently.
Yes.
So... 30 feet in the air. Ah! I'm just barely within range for this. Alright, I'm going to use a bonus action to expend 3 uses of my healing light to heal Flicks for... Oops. 3d6.
3d6?
Yep. 10.
All right. You can see some of the color return to her face as this radiant glow enshrouds her. Ugh. Thank you, strange winged man. All right.
Can't have you dying on us.
You're welcome.
And then I believe I will, since I haven't moved this turn, I'm going to move over here.
All right.
I'm flying, Jack.
All right, you're 30 feet in the air, right?
I am 30 feet in the air, yes.
All right. This cat's going to begin wandering over this way. Realizing that you're way out of its range, it's just going to bypass you. All right, that was its move.
I'm sorry. I just picture he looks up at me. He's like, eh.
like it stretches out its tentacle a little. Keeps hopping.
Piece
All right.
of shit cat.
Fucking cats.
All right. Flicks is up again, and she's now looking at this beast. Gender, is that you? It looks back at her.
Long time, Flicks.
Why are you doing this? You fell. How'd you live?
There are many secrets in this world.
His mouth begins to salivate as he looks down at her.
Shame you won't be able to learn them all.
Can Asmo yell out something real quick? Or is that...
I'll allow it as a free action.
Asmo just screams as loud as he can, "Get back!"
And she does. She takes the disengage and starts running this way. All right. Next up, other kitty. Just gonna sit here, kind of like wiggling its tentacles, looking up at Wolfgang like it's a bird. It's gonna hold its action. T-Wig.
Okay, so I misread conjure animals. I could actually conjure 2 giant eagles if I wanted to, but I only conjured 1. But now I know that.
Okay.
So knowing that, I'm going to take my action to recast it, which is going to drop the concentration on this eagle, meaning it's going to disappear.
That's so good.
All right, so as this kitty was dragging itself up, it managed to pull itself up above the crest, and then boop! Row!
You ever see those like videos of like cats falling out of trees, landing and running away? And that hilarious way they flail. I don't believe that's what's happening.
It's flailing real hard as it begins to fall yet again.
All right.
Fuck you, cat!
I'm going to summon a giant eagle right at the corner here. And I can summon another one 60 feet. So I can, yeah.
All right, another giant eagle.
And I'm going to summon another one up in the air near this platform as well.
Out here?
Yeah, let's put him like right about here and about, let's say 20. Whoa, that's a big bird.
That's a real big bird. Okay, here.
I would say about let's say put him 30 feet up in the air too.
All right,
So
about
cool.
Wolfgang's height.
Yeah, same area.
So now the cats are like looking back and forth between these two birds as this other one's like flailing and falling.
That is my action. As my bonus action, I'm going to turn into an auroch, which is a giant cow oxen.
Is it a large creature?
It is a large creature, yes.
All right.
And I will pat at the ground, and that will end my turn there.
All right. It is this large Oni, which you now know to be Gender's turn. And seeing all these things around it, I'm going to have to give him a quick roll to decide where his attacks are lying. Yep, okay. He's going to make a quick swipe at this massive beast, like a massive uppercut claw strike. And as his claws swipe through it, he realizes it's an illusion, turns his eyes back to you, Denier. And as his claws rake up in the air, they slam back down on top of... nat 20. So that smirk all of a sudden starts shifting as your eyes widen, as his mouth turns into this massive, toothy grin.
Uh-oh.
Oof. 13 plus 4. All right, as 17, as his claws rake straight down, I'm assuming rending straight through your arcane ward as 17 damage comes careening down at you.
Yep.
All right,
Arcane
you get a
ward is
massive
gone.
claw mark going straight down your chest.
And
As your illusion has been found out for what it truly is.
nat 24 Constitution. Keep it
Modified 20, but yeah, that thing stays up.
Although
It's
he
still
knows
there,
it's an illusion.
snarling and barking at him.
Mhm.
Slurping. All right. Next up, we've got back up the list. Denier, it is now your turn.
All right. Denier is going to disengage. He is going to move through his illusion since he just swiped through it. It's pretty clear that it's an illusion at this point. He's going to fall back to here. That was
All right.
his action and his movement. And that's all that I can do for right now.
Works for me. Asmo, your turn.
Asmo sees that it's an illusion. Asmo walks into it as well. Asmo just sliding up right beside the beast.
Also,
Sounds
Asmo,
good.
as you walk up to him, you notice that that chunk that Wolfgang shot out of his shoulder, as you step in front of him, you begin to see it start to kind of sizzle up, like Wolverine style.
How about that?
Asmo activates Second Wind.
All right,
I have 4 attacks now.
go for it.
These are all 4 with the main hand, though, correct?
You're thinking
no,
action
it
search.
is.
Second
No,
wind's your
action-
healing.
oh,
It's not
second-
action
second wind is
surge.
your
Oh my
healing.
god.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Action surge, I mean. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Forgive
action
me!
surge, you have 3 attacks with your normal hand and 1 with your offhand.
Oh, here we go. Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Oh wait, no, it's 4 attacks with your main hand and 1 with your offhand. My bad.
Hee-haw.
Oh, doesn't action surge take up an action?
No, you
No.
get 1 action extra attack, then another action extra attack, then your bonus.
Yeah, so you
Oh,
have 2
okay, there we go.
4 attacks in your
Perfect. 5
4
attacks.
attacks.
Let's go.
All right, so 26. Yes, that'll hit this man.
I was
As
swinging my
you-
arm like a sword when I was saying that.
As you plunge your ice dagger square into his abdomen.
Asmo literally goes up and like pretty much trying to like stab a dude in prison. 25 again.
All right, you'll notice that the piercing damage is taking hold on him, but the frost that is left behind doesn't seem to be lingering.
All right, fine by me. Asmo goes again with the frostbite again. 27.
Right.
Nice.
That hits 3 in a row as you are just basically just shanking this man. Punching at his ribs.
Here comes another one.
Oh my
26.
God.
Damn!
What the
Yeah, that
hell?
also hits.
8 piercing and 6 cold. Looks like the cold's not doing anything.
Yeah, he seems to be resisting that cold damage. Like, there's definitely, after you have punched him 4 times square in the abdomen, slicing back and forth and just stabbing in there, there's definitely some frost, but there's not as much as you're used to with this type of attack. But he is definitely bleeding.
Asmo turns with Fire Ant, his last weapon, and spins to slash it down. Flame damage. 19.
All right, that also hits.
Shit.
8 fire damage.
You'll notice that the fire also doesn't seem to take as much effect on him.
Immune to elemental attacks. Okay. Well, now I know.
Seems
All
to
right.
be.
Alrighty,
So
that's it.
Hold on, I gotta tally up all this stuff that you did.
32 piercing, apparently.
32 piercing. Okay. He looks a bit taken aback by this as he steps back.
Prison rules.
Yeah, he
Wanna
really-
live? Get a shiv.
He gets a massive grimace at you. As Giblink pulls back his bow one more time and orders, like basically tries to order a retreat for Wallace. They move back this way with you, Denier, as he pulls back his bow and misses the first shot as Wallace is kind of stumbling around with this goblin on his back. Giblink slaps him in the side of the head. Steady! As he misses the second one, as Wallace is like, don't tell me! Yeah, they're kind of arguing.
I'm going to be honest with you. Ranged units on mobile never as effective as standard.
Yeah, it's not quite doing it. All right, that's Giblink's turn as this kitty plummets into the. Boink! Ow! Alright, that cat's gone. Wolfgang, it is now your turn.
All right, Wolfgang sees Denier get the shit blasted out of him. He's gonna shout, "Hey! You want magic?" And he starts beating his chest. I got plenty of it right in here. I'm gonna level my gun on him. And I'm gonna unleash a guiding bolt.
As he looks up towards you, as he sees this kind of radiant energy, go ahead and roll to hit.
Come on, baby. 22.
Nice.
That'll do it.
And that
Go ahead and
is
roll damage.
Warlock. Oh, this ain't gonna be good. 15 plus 11 is 26 plus 12.
Wait, plus
It's gonna be
12?
Plus 12 because of Radiant Soul and Heavenly Conduit.
Damn. Okay, so what is that total?
It totals
38?
30. Yeah, 38. 38
Damn.
radiant damage.
A ridiculous amount of damage. That's what we're looking with here.
Yeah, this thing is now not looking so hot as it gets blasted in the face with this massive radiant energy. What are the secondary effects of guiding bolt?
The next attack on him has advantage.
Okay.
And then with my bonus action, I am going to spend another 2 uses of Healing Light to heal Denier.
Aww.
Who is... Oh shit, he's not within range. Hang on. I will move a little bit. I'll move a little bit closer. I'll just say I'll be hovering over here, and now I should be... Yeah, I'm in range. So he heals 2d6. Heals for 6.
All right. Good healing, Denier.
Very good healing.
All right. Meow. Meow. Pounces towards Flix here. Oh dear. And as its tentacle comes out and whips at Flix, who is still kind of struck by the fact that her friend is alive, it slashes straight down her back, and she falls unconscious in a pile of blood as it goes for a second attack on her.
Oh, beans!
Oh, fuck. Oh, jeez.
Somehow missing that one, though, as it thought she would still be up, and it swipes horizontally as she falls to the ground. All right. Flix is down. This kitty is now, like, whipping its tentacles, looking at this bird. Just waiting for it to do anything, I guess. T-Wig, it is now your turn.
Okay, drop form. I am going to beeline it over to Flix.
All right, the massive creature is going to take a swipe at you as you
Yep,
leave its space. As a 17 to hit.
that will hit me.
All right, oh, that one. You take 9 slashing damage as it careens its claws across your back.
Oh, I'm okay. I'm gonna run over. With my action, I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds at level 2.
All right, go ahead and give her some hit points back.
That'll heal her for 14.
All right, she gets back up. Thank you.
It's okay, we got you.
Don't have anything else for my bonus action, so I'm gonna command the eagle in front of me. To yes, do the same thing. He's gonna try and grapple with the cat.
All right, grapple check on Kitty.
19.
There we
That
go.
is a definite success. And I'm guessing you're gonna pull it out 15 feet again.
They actually can go 80 feet in a turn, so 40 feet. So I'm gonna drag it all the way over here.
All right. Wow, wow.
And then the other eagle that's near the cat is going to do the same thing. Yeah, I'll just do the same thing.
Oh my god.
Fly down, swoop
Fucking
down, and
druids,
grab
man.
it.
Fucking
right.
druids.
It has been holding its action for this thing to enter its sphere,
Okay.
so it is going to attack first.
Sounds good. This is eagle 2.
All right, Eagle 2, that is a 24 to hit, so let's just go ahead and roll
Absolutely will
damage
hit.
there.
Eagle 3, do you have a visual on the target?
That is 7 slashing damage as it comes in for the grapple, but I'm guessing it kind of shrugs that off and starts going in talons ablazing.
There's a bit of a puff of feathers as it flies in. It is going to attempt to grapple. Soft
right.
20.
Natural 1. So...
Okay. All the way over here.
Just picks it up by the nape of its neck, doesn't even, like, get a contested grapple.
All right. And then, yeah, that will end my turn.
All right. That is T-Wig. Asmo, you see that some of the wounds on this thing's chest begin to heal up from where you were stabbing it as it stares you in the eyes.
You're a violent one. Big guy.
Why don't you kill your friends?
It's going to attempt to charm you.
Counterspell.
Oh shit!
What's the range on counterspell?
It's pretty far.
Pretty big.
All right.
I actually...
Is this a spell or a spell-like ability?
Actually, you know what? Let Asmo do it.
Asmo pulls up in his hand, and he activates his counterspell ring.
You begin to feel these words try to echo into your mind, and you start to play with it. Go ahead and act this out.
My friends. You mean...
No, not happening. Sorry. Nice try. Talk to the hand.
It kind of crooks its head to the side. And it
With what lips?
Massimo's lovely, supple lips he's always had.
and it blinks out of existence.
Is that a spell?
I think it might be a spell-like ability. Displacer beasts do the same thing, so...
Oh, they do similar things, yeah.
For flavor of
All
the
right.
ring, use on my middle finger, yes.
Yes, you flipped him off. Bink! Boink! And he popped out of existence for a moment here. Well, yeah.
Be mindful of your surroundings. Let's move.
All right. Whose turn is it now? It is, in fact, Daenerys' turn.
All right, then Daenerys going to... He's going to activate his feline agility. And he is going to take the dodge action while he uses feline agility to move 60 feet. Let's see, 30, 5...
All right, if you're going to make the jump to that other one, I am going to need you to make an athletics check.
Which you're going to need me to make what now?
If you're going to jump between here and here, that's going to be an athletics check.
Let me double check the... So that's 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. I can get to the other platform. But you said from here to here?
Yeah, if you were going to make that. But if you do it
No.
if you do the full route, you'll be fine.
Yeah,
And if you can make that, then you can make it.
Yeah, there's 30 feet there, 35, 40.
Yeah, I saw
45.
it.
Yeah.
So
Then
go ahead
here-
and you can move yourself there.
something like right here. Something like that.
All right. Made yourself there, Daenerys. Asmo, it is now your turn.
Asmo, gonna say is a free action to everybody and flicks.
All right, this is all nice enough. Everything, but we still need to get to that door before it shows up. It keeps rehealing everything. I don't even know if we can put him down right now.
So let's huff it. So I was right here. So Asmo.
with you.
Asmo's gonna go, just go and jump on the first one. Except on the first of the weird little pylon, little mini platforms for walking.
All right. Giblink is going to have Wallace wander back this way. And he's just kind of keeping his bow trained, waiting for this thing to pop up.
Wait, ooh, actually, can I take a dash action?
You may.
Asmo very gingerly makes a dash action, and
That's an additional 30 feet. How do you want to do it?
10, 15,
20,
20, 25,
25, 30.
30. There we go.
All right. You hop back and forth like a game of hopscotch.
Ugh. Hey, Daenerys.
Wolfgang, it's now your turn.
All right, seeing as this thing has blinked out of existence, I can make it over there. Out of curiosity, how many rounds has it been since the start of this combat? Does anybody know?
It's been 6 rounds, I believe.
6 rounds?
Total? I believe so.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a round tracker, so I'm just estimating. So essentially,
Yeah, we're about at 4 or 5 or so. I think 4 or 5.
Yeah, do you mind if I look in chat to see if anybody in there might have an idea?
I would like to keep this moving if we want to end at a reasonable time.
All right,
so
all
let's
right.
just go to 6.
Because it's an ability that's about to wrap up. So the ruling is it's been 6 rounds then.
Yes.
All right, so I'm gonna. My wings disappear,
Pew, dunk.
and I fall 30 feet to the ground.
Taking.
It's a d6 for every 10 feet.
Yep. That's a total of 8 fall damage.
Oh my foot.
I am going to also have you make an athletics check to catch yourself because you are falling at the ledge. Or a dex check, whichever you prefer.
Athletics.
Athletics or acrobatics.
I'll do an acrobatics check Come on. 21.
All right, you manage to, as you fall, you don't tumble very well because you realize if you tumble or roll, you would probably fall off the edge. But your right arm and right leg manage to, like, they're kind of like dangling off, but you're able to kind of keep yourself steady on the ledge as you take the 8 damage.
All right, I pick myself back up to my feet and takes 15.
It takes half your movement to get up because you did fall prone.
All right, well then, in that case, I will just move 15 feet over to this ramp right here, and I will hold my action to fire in case this thing appears again.
All right, you start training your gun around the room. You cock it, and you just get ready. All right, Displacer Beast that is caught in a grapple with your eagle is going to basically just kind of attempt to flail and attack this thing. Since it's grappled, it's at disadvantage. I don't suppose a 13 would hit these eagles?
That will hit. That will
really?
hit, yeah. They're big and they're not, made out of...
All right. It's trying to place its sucker square on it. That is a 6 damage.
Okay.
It's going to go for its second attack. Went from a nat 20 to a nat 1, so I'm going to rule it that one slash made the eagle let go, and as it's swiping the other way, it starts to plummet. All right. This brings up Flix, who hop, 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 and with a dash action. She gets over to the area and starts working. She doesn't have the chance yet to work with her ring, so. But she starts fiddling with it and trying to get it in place. All right. Displacer Beast up here. Swipey 1, that's a miss.
Okay.
Swipey 2, also misses.
Damn.
Real low rolling kitty. As it's just trying to flail and make itself. It just wants to live. But it's not gonna, probably, because it is now your turn, T-Wig.
Okay. One of them slipped out, right?
Yeah, the one over here slipped out.
That eagle's gonna fly over and it's gonna grab Giblink and Wallace.
All right. Is it able to hold 2 creatures?
Yeah, it's a large creature, so Giblink is a small creature and the other gentleman's a medium creature, so...
I'm just going to delete them for the sake of this then. Eagle is now holding them.
It's gonna fly them 40 feet up to the portal. The other one is gonna drop the Displacer Beast. It's gonna let go of the grapple.
Alright, let's go.
And then it is going to fly 50 feet.
Alright.
And it's gonna grab Wolfgang. And 30 feet. Yeah, and it's gonna go and airdrop Wolfgang over there too.
Alright.
And then with my action, I'm gonna dash.
There you go. Good thinking, Nadine.
Alright, this kitty has nothing to grab onto. It's gone.
Frickin' druids.
Go ahead and move yourself where you feel like you can go. Can I, should I get rid of your little illusion beast, Bob?
Yeah.
60
That's
feet.
useless by now.
So that'd be 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Yeah, I'll get about here. Right there.
Alright. This cat's just going to make one more attempt to save its own miserable little life. Well. Meow. Just kind of starts meowing sadly. Meow. Meow. For the sake of it, combat is over. As Flix pulls out her ring, starts fiddling with this little stanchion, and another purple portal opens up kind of on this side right over here. All right.
Asmon asks, where does this go?
Not too far from the capital, luckily. But I don't think we want to stick around here too much longer.
Yeah, I don't want your friend to get back.
That sounds like an idea. Hop on through, hurry!
All right, come on, let's go. Asmon just kind of just pats everyone on the shoulder. Come on, go, 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 go.
I'll go in last.
Yeah.
All right, you hop
I'm
through.
going.
All right, everybody hops through the temporal portal there.
I will leave the eagles behind because they are very large.
Yes, as Flix gives one last look back. What happened to you, Gender? And she hops through as well. As on the opposite side, you find yourself in a... Well, most of you find yourself in a somewhat familiar town. But, T-Wig, you find yourself in kind of like a riverside village. There's a couple of mills about as you have popped out kind of on the outskirts. You can hear the town off behind you. The rest of you know this to be the town of River Run.
Oh, boy.
Which, traveling for only a couple of hours through this Nexus, you have made well over a week's journey. But this is where we'll have to pick up next time.